The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
You know, I had a really nice day today. It was a nice day today. I went to work, came home, took a shower, and I sit down in front of my TV to watch a little bit of sports. And what do I see? The San Diego Chicken. Well, my face turned blue, my nose turned purple, my eyes turned red, and my tongue turned green like George the Animal Steel. But then I had a beer, I had some ice cream, and everything was fine again. But still lagging in the back of my brain is the sight of that fucking chicken. I am going to destroy that chicken. I can't stand it. I hate the San Diego Chicken. I hate him. I just want to take a roll of quarters in my fist and just bash his fucking beak in. I can't take it anymore. There's got to be a support group for people like me. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 421 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast. Is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, at Casa de Zero, and also the Lair of the Gods. We are here once again from 4 different locations to discuss a film. We will probably argue, we'll probably make fun of each other, and hopefully MZ doesn't die choking on a fucking chicken again. What are you fucking doing, you asshole? You mute himself on his new fucking mic? You asshole.
I'm mute.
No, I didn't.
Who else is the asshole that's talking about the chicken? You're fine, MZ. You're fine. Is there another
I can
asshole
barely hear what you're saying.
Is there another asshole talking about a chicken on this fucking show?
Yeah, you right now.
Well, prior to that, no.
No.
If you can't hear us,
I'm not
turn it
fucking
up.
around with the mute button. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, turn it up then if you can't hear us. Jesus
I
Christ.
can hear you.
You see?
No. Oh, fuck you guys. Jesus.
And
You know what? You started out so good. I thought that was a very good intro, and then just right downhill.
MZ is using a new headset provided by our supporters over at Patreon.
Yes, thank you, supporters. Thank you, Patreons.
Now he can mute
I
himself
appreciate it.
and he can mute us.
Yes. In fact, I think I'll start doing that right now. It'll be like the Lifeline when I got the heart thing going when I'm in a hospital. I'll just cut off the flow.
Jeez.
There we go.
So MZ is MZ is
I can't hear
evoking the San Diego Chicken once
God.
again.
Yeah, well, he pisses me off, man.
You gotta fucking die. You're gonna die. I have to be
Not if he
animated
dies
because it's
first.
gonna happen. I don't want to see it happen.
So
Not if he dies first.
How did it stick in your craw again?
Yeah.
What?
What?
Well, I mean, considering the fact that there's barely any baseball going on, I just find it hard pressed to think they're showing screen time to the fucking Muppet in the fucking suit. I just don't know what you see. Are you watching more like Pete Rose kids shows in the 80s reruns?
Yeah, I was sitting in my room watching TV, and I have it on. I'm watching old videos of on YouTube and watching some old baseball bunch. You know, I like watching the old shows. That old baseball bunch stuff. I love it, man. Loved it when I was a kid. Love it now. Even better now. Because now you can really appreciate the players from back then.
You can really appreciate the gambling aspect of baseball from Pete Rose's perspective.
Oh, sure. One of the greatest gamblers of all time. Him and Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers, that's good. Yeah.
But you know, I mean, and watching that show is always great. But man, that fucking San Diego chicken, I just hate him. I hate him.
All right, well, better eat some pudding between now and next week because you'll be fucking choking again.
Yeah.
Is there a mascot you'd like to see beat up the San Diego Chicken?
The Philly Fanatic.
What about Gritty?
Gritty. I don't think Gritty needs to beat anybody up. I think just being around him and just being in his presence is enough torture for anybody. But no, well, actually, you know what? I don't think the Philly Fanatic could do it. He's too funny. He's too comical. He's not serious. So a serious.
There isn't a serious mascot. They're mascots.
I know. Yeah, I know. But there are, let's say, like Jolly Roger the Pirate from the Pittsburgh Pirates.
He's very serious. Yes.
Yeah. Not Wally the Green Monster. Wally the Green Monster is the lamest fucking mascot there is.
Well, I mean, he was just added.
Worse than the chicken?
He was just added within the last 20 years, though, right? Like, what was that?
Ugh.
Yeah. But he is pretty lame.
I mean, it's a good concept. I mean, but overall, it's just really lame.
Is it though?
Yeah, it is.
Do the kids like
Is it worse than the chicken? Is it worse than the chicken?
No, he's not worse than the chicken because I gotta give love to my homies. You know, he's Boston bred. You know, I can't be hating on him.
Who's Boston
I mean,
bred?
I don't like him, but I'll take him over the chicken any goddamn day. Fucking chicken.
Well, Boston Brand as a mascot, Deadman.
Yes, exactly.
You could possess the other team, Johnny, right?
Oh man, that would be awesome to have Deadman as a fucking mascot. I'd love that.
From the fucking Baltimore Cadavers, you could do that. That's the whole thing you could do.
Or you could do the Baltimore Cannibals, right,
Hey,
MZ?
hey, that's right. Taking home a win.
That's MZ's fantasy baseball team name this year. He changed the name.
Yep.
Are you rebranded?
Well, it was in Wisconsin. Then I moved it over to Baltimore, and the logo has the Death's Head moth from Silence of the Lambs on it. So and my love of Silence of the Lambs goes well with the team name, and it's the city that it plays in. So it's a perfect fit. I love it.
Wait, are you a season ticket holder? Oh. Wait, I think you belong in the bleachers.
It puts the biscuit in the basket or gets the hose again.
Oh, wait.
No, that would be basketball. That's a.
Yeah.
I actually want to hear that. It puts the biscuit in the basket or gets the hose again.
With the sports, you should definitely get Buffalo Bill do some commentating. You can do some color commentating.
Are you a size 42?
Well, technically, he's got his own team, right? The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, word. That's funny.
Their mascot should be a fucking moth.
No, it should be a dude doing the tuck dance. It should be Monster Zero in the tuck dance, wearing that, like,
Yes.
Joseph's Technicolor dream coat that he wore in that picture. Like,
We need to move to start a petition to have the Buffalo Bills renamed to the Buffalo Bill.
that's that's a fuck.
And the mascot, yeah. So on the helmet, would it be maybe a moth with him doing the tuck dance in front of it, right?
Well, I think it would be the tuck dance, but but where you see his pubes, that's where you put the Death's Head moth.
Yeah, that's it.
This conversation, but like, it's like Sweet Caroline as much as the next guy in New England, but that's fucking getting kind of played out in the seventh inning. But what if in in the halftime, everyone does the fucking silent horses, goodbye horses, or whatever the fuck.
Goodbye horses.
That's outrageous.
That would be pretty outrageous for the seventh inning stretch or whatever, or I guess halftime in this case.
Yeah,
The 2-minute warning.
yeah, you think fucking the rate like war.
Aries. Sorry, I was just gonna say Aries had the perfect frozen camera moment right now.
Okay,
as he's swigging, taking a swig of his drink. That's like the perfect freeze frame for Aries.
That's like the author at home. That's like the back of his biography. Aries on Aries.
Aries on Aries. Oh shit, that's fucking awesome. So on tonight's show, we will be talking about the punk rock horror comedy known as Uncle Peckerhead. We'll be discussing that film in just a little bit. And then we'll do some voice messages and whatever else comes up. Who knows? We got Raven Chow, have you recovered from episode 420?
I did. Yeah, no, the munches have worn off. So was the sativa and the indica.
Would you mix and match? Like, do you do the sativa during the day and the indica at night? Is that?
No, I kind of do it like it's a team up.
Team up.
Yeah, it's like you put your chocolate in my peanut butter, you put your sativa in my indica. You put your sativa. Let's see what happens. Because like, if you don't know, like indica, think like in the couch. You can't go to bed. Right?
In the couch.
Right? Like much like Ali G in the house. Indica's like in the couch.
Yeah.
Sativa, you might get a little more. Your thoughts get a little more. Fucking weird. Thinking about, paranoia or whatnot. But really, I just end up either one. I get hungry and fall asleep. But I am in a better mood, Johnny. I was a little rough. I'll share. I'm going to share. I'm being more present. I was a little hard time before the show, but I think we're good. My sound's better.
Hey, you sound fine.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Amongst all that, I plugged a few things in the back that may have been unplugged, so it's better now.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
I'm amazed that it actually worked out then in that case. Aries is back. He's no longer drinking. you had
That was a long fucking drink.
Yeah,
I emptied the bottle.
it was a bottomless.
It was like a GIF or something.
So I might understand he was like pulling wires out. Did I miss what's going on?
I mean, I don't know what happened, how things work in cyberspace, but I mean, like Johnny tried really, really fucking hard to get me where I needed to be, and maybe took a little bit of the flow to go in, and then as Monster Zero was doing his San Diego chicken thing, I pushed some buttons behind the mixer, and you guys sound better.
You know that could have gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't unplug anything. I just pushed it down.
Okay.
Took a huge gamble.
Oh, okay. I thought you were unplugging stuff and plugging it back in.
Oh, no. I just
Kenny Rogers and
you
Michael
pushed a
Davis.
button.
No, I just pushed down.
On what?
The fulcrum.
You're like a professional knob twiddler, Raven Shadow.
No, to be fair, yes, I am a knob twiddler.
Professional knob diddler.
Yeah, listen, if you got a knob, I'll fucking make something out of it. It's like fucking,
Oh, Jesus.
What did fucking Jack Nicholson say about John Lennon? I'm a fucking artist. Give me something, I'll fucking make something happen. I don't know about the fucking tuba, but no, I like knobs. Yeah, bed knobs and broomsticks. Hold the broomstick.
Jesus.
Oh God! Why? Go back under there. Pull whatever you pushed.
All right, so we are. I mentioned what we're doing. Uncle Peckerhead. We're not doing it. We're talking about him. We're gonna maybe Raven Shadow can twiddle some more knobs. You gonna twiddle Uncle Peckerhead's knob?
I'm off the.
By the way, we got a few people hanging out in chat already. I saw Creepy Girl says, "Yoo-hoo, where are you?" And then she says, "Oh, there you are." She said, "Wolfie, you look like Frankenstein. You're green." All right. Well, I guess that's because of the white screen and the purple light. Maybe is that?
Man, producer.
Producer. This producer almost cut his thumb off the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I got a pretty gnarly wound on my thumb right now. Anyone want to see some actual gore? Here, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
See if I can get it on camera. That's blood. I can't get a good. It's blood at the tip of my thumb. It's all scabbed over. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
What happened? What were you doing? What were you,
I was cutting pickles. That's not a euphemism
Kind
either.
of stuff.
Weird.
I like make a I make Raven Chow. I make chicken seitan. Have you ever heard, hail seitan?
Chicken Satan? I will eat Satan chicken all day long.
So it's I don't know, I'm not going to explain the whole thing, but seitan it's made of vital wheat gluten, and it mimics sort of like when you make it all up, it sort of like has a resemblance to like a cutlet kind of like consistency and texture, So I do that. That's like my part of my lunch. I prep for the week and make a bunch of it. So anyways, I had a few extra left over that I kind of left as cutlets, and so I was making sandwiches, and I like little. I have pickle spears, so I wanted to cut them up so I could put them on the actual sandwich, right? So I'm trying to do it quick. It's like 10 p.m. I typically am very careful when I'm cutting because I'm always like afraid that something like that's going to happen. And I just was trying to do it really quickly because I was starving, and I just was going chop, 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 chop. And then I got to like the very last bit of the pickle. It was literally like the last slice. And I just couldn't pull my thumb out quick enough. And it basically cut through the nail and through the tip of my thumb. I thought I lost my thumb.
Ouch.
It's pretty bad. So if you guys looking for some gore, let's see if I can get it on there. There you go.
Right.
There's your gore.
Change your name to Johnny Pickle Thumbs.
I do have a little bandage thing here that I can put on it. So because the thing is, like when you have like a something like that, like a wound or something like that, you forget about it. So like this is sort of here, so I don't forget about it. I have like a little thumb thing. This is all really exciting. I know, but yeah, it was scary.
So it like only hurts when you hitch a ride, or what?
No, surprisingly, this actually doesn't hurt at all. Which, like looking at it, it's like it almost makes me like wince just even looking at it. But it hasn't hurt, so that's either good or bad. I don't know. Maybe I just cut through a nerve and I don't feel anything. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, you lost all sense in your thumb.
So maybe
Nice.
maybe that's why it doesn't hurt. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. Wolfenstein being an idiot. Evil Corny.
Well, I almost lost my beard today.
No.
Well,
That would have
yeah.
been horrible.
Oh yeah, well, at least a chunk of it anyway. I wasn't paying attention. I was moving over a log with a chainsaw in my hand. Didn't have the brake on. Bumped the trigger and it started going. I lost a few strands.
Oh
but
my god.
oh god, yeah, it was just like
Wow.
oh.
Holy shit.
Not too many guys could say they could shave by chainsaw.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be a story.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, that'd be a painful story to have those get ripped out like that.
But it'd be like, Aries, having to your beer. Cut it off with a chainsaw. What happened? It went to my beard and it went bad. So we lop it off at the root.
Evil Corny wants to know if did it break the chain, Aries?
No, it did not. It was a new chain, so it was still fresh.
No, it's like when Superman has to use his the mirror bounce off the rocket ship to shave. Like Aries needs a fucking chainsaw to fucking shave. You're so fucking masculine, dude.
So fucking masculine, dude.
Just help me, dude. Let me get some of that on me, dude.
Bottle it up and sell
And
it.
Yeah. I'm gonna rub some Aries on me. Fucking, and then,
Ugh. God.
Just rub some
Like a
Aries. That would be the tagline.
Yeah.
Just rub some Aries on you.
Yeah. Or you could just go to the liquor store and get yourself a nip bottle of whiskey.
yeah, I'd be like,
There you go.
Coach, Waves on and get back there. Go ahead.
What would do you guys remember when we had Rocky on and we were talking about the scents? His friend there made the scents for his album, like the perfume cologne.
Oh yeah.
What would Aries? Did we figure out what Aries was? It was just like whiskey and like leather or something like.
I think it'd be whiskey and bar and chain oil.
Yeah, exactly.
Whiskey, motor oil, and flannel. I'm not sure if it's
And flannel. What does flannel smell like?
well, you know
It's just-
bad flannel though.
I think it's just cotton. I don't know.
yeah. Unwashed flannel.
Would have to smell like the woods though too.
Yes.
Pine.
Pine, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely some pine.
Whiskey.
Whiskey, oil, and pine.
That sounds kind of good. Yeah. Oh man, Corny posted a pickle with sunglasses that says "Dill with it." Thanks, Corny. I appreciate that. And a few minutes ago, well, actually 10 minutes ago, he said at the Buffalo Bill game there would be lotion night.
Nice.
I
There
could
you
see
go.
that.
Basket night.
Basket night. What else would they do? They would do like
Anyone who wears a size 14 gets in for free.
flesh mask night. I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh man. So that's what's up for tonight. Oh, I did want to talk about some big Patreon news that we just dropped. Although before that, Corny did musical notes surrounded by "Rub Some Aries on Me."
Would that be the tune of "Pour Some Sugar on Me"?
I think so. MZ, let's hear you sing it. I know you're a big fan.
No, I don't think so. I'm a Def Leppard fan, but that's not Def Leppard to me, man. That's I don't know what you would call that.
Good man. Good man. The early stuff's the best, right?
There you go.
Yeah. When he had two arms.
Rick Allen.
Yeah. He was better when he had two arms. Man, I was going to talk. I was like, what the fuck was I going to talk about? Completely left my mind, but I'm going to talk about Patreon. So we made some changes, and what we decided was we looked at the tiers. We had 5 tiers. Honestly, 2 of the tiers weren't even bought into. So we figured, you know what? Like, we were shooting for the moon when we started Patreon, and we figured, you know what? If people want to throw money at us, by all means, throw money at us, right? But that was also before a pandemic, and I don't think anyone's going to be giving us $30 a month. You know, like, hey, gang, you may like the show, but yeah, I think you got better things to spend your money on, right? So I just put it out there as a sort of like, you know, what the fuck? If you know, I've always heard people say, well, if you don't give people a way to give you money, you won't get money, right? So I was trying to go, you know, go $2 and we'll go up from there. So we decided to streamline it. We decided we're just going 3 tiers. We're going $2, $5, $10. And in all of those tiers, you get something. Now you get something cool. So the $2 tier before was just a thank you. Like we send you a message. We mention it on the show. We thank you. You get our gratitude. That's it. And that just wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough for us. We want all of our supporters to be able to get some cool stuff. So now we bumped the audio. The exclusive audio is on every single tier, starting at $2. So if you get in on the $2 tier, you get all the exclusive audio. And I went back and made all the old episodes available for that $2 tier. So if you're on the $2 tier and that's the only one you're on, now you have all the audio. You can go back and listen to those. If you're going to be a new Patreon supporters, if you just want the audio, $2, you get that. So also the other thing we did was we added a Discord server or Discord community. So I know Raven Shadow, do you know what a Discord is?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Discord? Yeah. Is it similar, involves marriage at all?
Wow. Okay. So yes, obviously Raven Shadow doesn't know what Discord is, but Discord is it started out as mostly for gaming communities, but now it's grown where it's actually a very formidable community building sort of chat. It's mostly chat based. So if anyone out there has heard of Slack, if you've heard of Microsoft Teams, you've heard of GroupMe or whatever, any of these, it's kind of on the same idea, and you can create basically they're called servers. In this case, it's a community, and from there we can create as many different chats as we want. So we can have one for, like I created one for double taps. So if you want to come in and give a double tap and talk about cool stuff that you've been digging, that's the place for it. If you want to just generally talk about whatever, there's a general chat room, and we're going to continue to add new rooms. So it's basically like discrete topics, So we're going to do probably horror. We'll do maybe comics or whatever. So we're gonna just kind of playing around with it now. But everyone who signs up for Patreon gets a special title as well. So the $2 tier is Hunter. So if you sign up on the $2, you are a hunter, and you'll get added to the Discord server as such with the title of Hunter. And with that, you get like a lot of privileges. You can chat in most of the chat rooms. But then we're moving up to the $5 tier. In the $5 tier, you get audio like you did before, and now you get video. So if you guys like watching the live antics of what we do, you also get video now for $5. And you get access to the Discord community as a slayer. Not a hunter, a slayer, Raven Shadow. You like the sound of that?
Oh, yeah, man. Fucking, I'll slay you.
Jesus. So, and the other thing we're doing, we still have some details to work out. I don't know when the first one is going to be, but we are going to be doing what we're calling currently. It may change, but currently it's being called the Monster Piece Theater. And basically what it is, it's a movie club. It's a Trick or Treat Radio movie club. If you're in the Patreon for $5 a month, you're invited to participate in the Trick or Treat Radio movie club. And what that entails is, currently we're going to do it at least quarterly. There's a chance we may do it more frequently as we start to do it and see how it works out. So we don't know when the first one's going to be, but the film will be chosen by a vote. So we're going to go ahead, throw it out there to all of our Patreon supporters, allow them to pick some options, and then we'll go do a vote. And then whichever one, we also have a say as well, but we want you guys to pick it. And that's the film that we'll talk about. So if there's something on the show that we've never done that you really want to hear us talk about, that's the best time to do it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hop into a Discord voice chat, because Discord has voice built right into it. And we're going to have a discussion. It's going to be like a regular episode of Trick or Treat Radio with you guys involved. So, and this is open to everyone who is on our Patreon that's in the Slayer tier or higher. And so we're going to do that quarterly at the very least. And I'm also going to record it and make it available for everyone so you can listen to it later. I don't know if we're going to put it out on the Patreon feed or not. I might just make it as a download. Once again, still kind of working out the logistics of all that. But that way you guys have a copy of it and you can go ahead and listen to it whenever you want. And that's just one of the other things we're doing. And then lastly, the final tier, if you guys want the coup de grace, everything that we've talked about previously up to now, you can get in at the $10 tier, which is known as Terminator. So Raven Shadow, if there's monster hunters, there's monster slayers. What's the tip of the top?
Oh, you got a fucking aisle, dude.
A monster Terminator?
Yeah, the T, whatever the fuck. I mean, like, truly, if it came down to fucking T2 and Jason Voorhees, I mean, come on, that's a fucking.
Oh, we talked about that on an upcoming episode. I think you may want to save that.
That's why I'm just fucking wetting the fucking palate. But I mean, wetting
the palate.
Whatever.
Ask MZ. You don't want to get pallets wet, right?
Yeah,
no, you don't. No.
No, you don't.
They get awfully heavy.
So you don't want to wet the palate, but that's what we're doing. So the final one, the final tier, the $10 tier is the Terminator, and you will also get an invite on Discord. You will be known. You'll get the title of Terminator, and with that, you'll have full access on Discord to all the channels. So there's some that will be for Terminator only discussion, and yeah. And the other thing is, if you're in that tier, it's only limited too. We're going to limit it to 12 just because of the final perk. If you're in that tier, you get to program an episode of Trick or Treat Radio, one of the weekly live episodes like we're doing right now. You can go ahead, pick a movie or two. We'll allow you to do either one. So you could pick a movie and a topic to talk about at the end, or like a question, or you can pick 2 movies, and that will be a Patreon show. And if you want to come on, you can come on and be the guest on that show. That's why we're limiting it to 12. So we do, if people buy into that tier, at least once a month. Now, obviously, I don't expect we're going to get 12 people to sign up for that. But you just want to keep it limited so that it's exclusive. So that's the new Patreon stuff. And I'm actually real excited about this. And I'm looking forward to the Discord, because you guys can chat with us all fucking day. Like, you have access. Well, we got to get Raven Shadow on there, to be honest, because he's not on there yet. That might be. You're getting what?
I'm getting real close.
Okay, so that'll be maybe that'll be some exclusive content. Just watching Raven Shadow get on to Discord. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to this, and I think it could be real cool. Now, obviously, I know we have the Facebook group. That's where a lot of the chat, that happens, goes down. People post links in there and stuff like that. But that can also happen on Discord, and also Discord is a chat. Like, I know for me personally, I'm trying to stay off Facebook a little bit more than usual. For no other reason than it's just like a fucking time waster, right? Like, I post the podcast stuff and things like that, but I'm just trying not to be on it all day long. And Discord to me is easier because it's just chat. You don't have to look and click on articles and all this other stuff. So, and Discord's available on your phone. It's available for computer, iPad, whatever. It's basically available on all platforms. So it's super easy to sign up for too. You don't have to do this crazy process. You don't have to give up your firstborn or anything like that. So we're also going to make the Discord available, at least the general chat room, to anybody. So you don't even have to be a Patreon supporter. It's the general chat will be available to anybody, and we'll post the link when we're ready to. We're getting close. I'm just kind of getting everything all set on the Discord. But we'll post that, and you guys are welcome to join in. Like I said, there are going to be some exclusive chat rooms for Patreon only, because we want to give people a benefit for helping to support the show. And I feel that up till this point, we've been doing a little bit, but not enough. And we want to do more for you guys. And also, if anyone out there has recommendations for what you'd like for the Patreon, if you have a great idea for something we can do on the Patreon, by all means, please let us know. And we'll be more than open to considering it. So, yeah, I'm excited about this. You guys have any thoughts? Raven Chow, are you excited about Discord?
I am excited about Discord. No, I think that's what's really cool about it.
You like to sow Discord.
I've sowed, I've sued, I've I don't know what that means. But no, I think what we're trying to say, John, is that I think we can all thank those who contributed thus far.
Yes.
But right, we do want to give more. And once again, there are plenty of assholes now more than ever with microphones and broadcasting. We still want to be your assholes. And I think, and that's fair. I think think about that for a minute, embrace that. But the moral of the story is that it's not just about us too. I mean, we've done episodes where we've gone off the air. I mean, we've still recorded and the episode still dropped on Friday mornings, but we've had the chat room still going.
Yeah.
When we were broadcasting. So, I mean, I think even if you don't have to love us, but just like us a little bit, I think the real buy is the chat room and the people who've met each other.
Yeah.
And the culture.
And
right?
Raven Shadow, like we've said in the past, I actually don't remember what we've said in the past. I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember exactly, but when the episode ends, the conversation just begins, right? Is that what we used to say?
We said that all the time before.
Yeah, we haven't said that. But now the conversation never fucking stops.
Listen, I go on break at 10 o'clock. I go on at 11:30. And then I go on a 10-minute break at 3 o'clock. Hit me up. I'm smoking butts. Talk to me. What are you watching? I'll get you back.
Oh, this is going to be pure entertainment just for that alone.
Yeah, that's when I'm free.
I agree.
Oh, shit.
I agree.
Oh man, Corny
We
just upped his Patreon to $10 just now.
What?
Look at that value. Well, that's awesome, Corny. Thank you, man. Corny's been
Thanks, buddy.
he's been a supporter since the very beginning, and
Yeah.
we can't thank you enough, Corny. And that's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to Corny's going to be our first Patreon book show. Oh man, what's
Yeah.
he going to pick?
He's the first guy.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a little nervous.
I am too.
Yeah.
That's really fucking awesome, Corny. Thanks, man. It fills my heart with joy. So, and once again, we will make the Discord link available. I'll post about it on social media. Please feel free to join. But like I said, there are going to be benefits for people who are on Patreon. So there'll be additional chat rooms. There'll be even voice chat, right, Raven Shadow?
Yeah.
It has voice chat built right into it, so people can say, "Hey, Raven Shadow, you got a few minutes? I'd love to pop down into the we'll do the Blackout Bacchanalia chat room. We'll call a chat room that."
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take Ollie out for a minute, but when I get back in, I'll call.
Maybe you can talk while you're out with Ollie.
I will. I was talking taking Ollie out earlier today.
So that's fucking awesome, and I hopefully you guys dig this because. I think it could be just an even better way of just sort of connecting with everyone and keeping the conversation going. So hopefully you guys like it, and if there's anything we can do to continue to iterate and improve on the Patreon, let us know because obviously we some of us are smart, but some of us are smarter than others, and we can't think of everything. So if there's something you guys think is really good, or maybe there's another Patreon out there that you support that does something that's really awesome that you think we should adopt, by all means, let us know, and we're more than happy to help. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm really excited by it. So, thank you everyone who so far has helped contributed up to this point. It's been just over a year, and I figured it was time for a change, and hopefully this changes for the positive. Corny says y'all are welcome. Blackout tapes. Oh shit, Raven Shadow. We're gonna bring back the blackout tapes, or we're gonna bring it for the first time.
Yeah, no, listen, there's so many, and once again, hit me up. You can, I think we'll start on Discord, but maybe like, yo, hit me fucking private messenger.
Wait, what are you doing here? You going into business for yourself?
No, for us. But like in that chat, maybe like people might get a little scared over what you're talking about. Let's get fucked up. We'll have. Do they still have remember three-way calls? Remember that?
I thought you were going somewhere else.
No. We crashed, John.
Yes, I do.
I remember. Filthy mind on you.
I remember you had to pay like an extra $3-4 or something for that every month.
Yeah, call waiting with hold on. Hello. I'll call you back. Yeah, but there's call waiting, but you could have three-way calls,
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about it?
I'm saying that
Raven Shadow, you could do an 8-way call.
You do realize we're in a 4-way call right now. We can see each other.
Yeah.
Oh. Wasn't private.
You can make. We're choosing to let everyone see us, but we could do a private conversation like this.
Yeah.
Let's do a conversation.
So, all right, blackout tapes. A lot's on the table. If you guys have recommendations for the Discord, I wouldn't say I'm a newbie to Discord. I've used Discord for a while, but I'm finally digging into what it can actually do. So there may be some functionality that I'm just not aware of. So if anyone is, super well-versed in, that's what I'm looking for, well-versed in Discord, and if there's something that you guys would like to see, just let us know once again. So. Evil Corny says, I just shot warm tea out of my nose from that 3-way comment. 3-way call, Raven Shadow. That's what we're talking about.
Love that.
All right. Well, I've talked enough.
We'll get back in touch with you in 8 months.
I've talked enough about the Patreon and all the changes. If you guys want to go check them out, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And you can see there's 3 tiers now. There is Hunter, Slayer, Terminator. It lays out everything that you'll get. and take a look and consider supporting if you haven't already. And once again, if you've been in that $2 tier, I know a few people have been in that tier for a while now. Now you guys get something a little bit extra. So make sure you go back and check out the old episodes if you want to. Raven Shadow, yes.
Johnny, what's super exciting about that is, for those who don't know,
And those who remember,
and those that forgot, there is a fucking like half an hour video montage of Monster Zero showing all his fucking Transformers.
that is
Listen,
true. Yeah.
that is worth $55.
All right, let's raise the price then.
All right, yeah. So we have fucked that up for everybody. Corny, go to the ATM. But no, but like a few fucking months back, like Monster Zero, literally, and he motherfucker named every Transformer. So listen, $5 a month, you could watch 5 hours of content of him. You know, Sideswipe, Wind Charmer, Hufflepuff.
Wind Charmer.
I don't know. Fucking Beach. Lights, Gangrene.
And
Fucking
one other thing about Patreon, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I just want to comment on it real quick. MZ is now using a laptop. Patreon didn't pay for the laptop; he paid for that himself. But he has a new headset to go with that laptop, and that was just from Patreon supporters. So because of that, we're able to do things like that. You know, and now MZ has headphones. He's got a nice headset where he can mute it if someone starts yelling at him or something like that. You know,
That's right.
he can
I don't
mute
need
us.
you guys yelling at me because
He
Did he
muted
really?
it.
Did he?
Yeah, he muted it. So that's all because of you guys. So we thank you so much for helping out, because that's what it's for, is for, you know, maybe buying new stuff, you know, equipment that breaks, or getting new equipment, or paying for the subscriptions, paying for the hosting, all that stuff. It's definitely not cheap. I know people out there who do podcasts realize that. So thank you once again. Consider checking out the Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. All right, I want to get a move on here. So once again, the other ways you can support us: Amazon. Go to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, you click it, it's going to bring you to Amazon. Input our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session will get attributed to us. Doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
And Corny says, I'll pay $30 a month to see MZ fight the San Diego Chicken. Well, maybe we can find a way to make that
Great.
happen. Yeah. That's premium fucking content right there.
yeah, yeah.
Costume rentals right now.
I accept that. I
Guess who's going to be in
accept
that
that
chicken?
I accept that challenge and your $30.
You don't get the 30.
Oh,
Goes to the show.
Oh,
So
You do realize if I rent the costume, who's going to be in the costume, right?
you?
you? Oh.
Oh, shit.
All I have to do is go and buy myself a cheap bottle of Thunderbird and give it to you.
All right. So the final way you can help support the show, head on over to trickortreatradio.com, click on the store, and there you can purchase the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio Volumes 1 through 3. We have them all available there, so give them a look. And for folks who maybe haven't been with us for the entire 8 years, or if you jumped on late and you haven't gone back and listened to all the episodes, which I don't blame you, there's a lot of fucking episodes. Then if you want to just get like little highlights, you can check out the greatest hits. We got some of the highlights, the low lights, the mid lights, a little bit of everything in there. So give that a look.
Crisis.
The what?
Midlife crisis.
The midlife crisis, yes. Several of those. All right, well, that is it. I'm done talking about supporting us. There are ways to do it. Patreon is probably your best way, because you get stuff for that. You get some cool stuff for it. And now Corny's going to come on, and he's going to program a show, and he's probably going to make us suffer for being assholes because of you, Raven Shadow. Because you wouldn't mention his fucking show. You don't talk to him anymore.
Listen, Johnny, Corny's fine. Listen, allow me to put those fucking rumors to rest. There's been a lot of harsh language in the podcasting circles as of late.
Yeah.
But I want everyone to know that the bedrock station of the Corny and Raven Shadow tag team is very much solid. We're like an oak. We had a 2 to 3 hour conversation.
Oh, I thought you were going to say argument.
No.
It probably was. He's just downplaying it.
No.
Yeah.
And I checked out from the Canopy, episode 110, the Relic episode with fucking Bobby Blockbuster, my man Corey. They talked about fucking trailers and fucking the world and Corona.
Oh my God, how generic can you be?
So
Talk about
you guys are saying you're,
trailers and the world.
Yeah.
so you guys are saying that you're stronger than ever before.
Yes.
And so at what moment does Corny super kick you through the barbershop window?
Corny and I are fine. If I was you, I'd be worried about a pumpkin bomb coming and knocking over your cute little head stick.
Oh.
Hey.
I just closed that
Patreon's got.
page.
Wow. All right. You guys throwing some
You know what?
Some
You know what,
haymakers.
Raven Shadow? You know what, Raven Shadow? You could just go.
Are you on delay? Are you on
Oh, it's probably good that he has that mute button on himself.
And you're gonna need your mom to put it back up again.
Wow.
Wow. You with the short pants on making jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, Evil Corny says we back on good terms.
Yeah,
Oh.
man.
Wow, there's a little heat going on there for a bit though.
Listen, there's the media. Okay.
The
Just-
media.
Just wait.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're all fine here. How are you?
All right, Raven Shadow. So we need to end this overly long intro, and we need to head to the film discussion. But before we do that, what do you do? I mean, like, we've never watched a film about Uncle Peckerhead. So what do you do to prepare for a film called Uncle Peckerhead, Raven Shadow?
Shit, Johnny. I'm gonna make this quick. I had my own little anniversary, Johnny.
Okay.
I did. Very excited. 8 years, Trick or Treat Radio. So much content. But your boy had a 2-year anniversary celebration on Tuesday. That's right. Mary and I celebrated our 2 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, big ups, everyone.
Big ups.
Clapping.
Big ups yourself. You and Marion, big ups.
So 2 years, Mary and I. And listen, I got some fucking dope gifts. Can I show how fucking dope? What's it, Johnny? What would you figure out? WFG?
What?
No,
What?
MVG. Whoa, slow it down. MVG.
Oh, MVG, yes.
Was I have a girlfriend, right?
Yep.
Can I just real quick before I do that on the end? You know what I
Yes.
got?
What?
My favorite DC Universe picture, The Losers on DVD. I can't find this anywhere, but I fucking love this fucking picture with a cast that you can't fucking get nowadays for under $1 bajillion. So The Losers was a decades-long property, but it was a comic set in the Vertigo world. Now, I get the picture. If you're a fan of the book, it's definitely kind of more of a A-team knockoff, but the cast is fucking Captain America, Idris Elba, Gamora, fucking Negan, fucking the fuck, and Lost Boys, Michael as the scenery-chewing villain. So good. Fucking check out The Losers. I fucking adore the fuck out of this picture, right?
All right. Fair.
Great fucking gift.
That's a great gift.
What about a button that has Clarence Worley in Alabama? You're so cool from True Romance. Button, you can't
All
see
right.
this. Zooming on. That's pretty fucking.
That's cool. All right. I'm down with that.
I love Preacher so much.
You don't.
You don't even. I fucking hate Preacher. It's terrible. How about this? Johnny? See this?
Oh,
This is,
our space.
On the styled R Space T-shirt. Come on now.
All right. I dig that. I like that a lot.
Body pretty cool. How about this? This is handmade from the UK. They do that all day. It's it's all in the reflexes. Pork Chop Express, handmade button. My back, right?
All right.
Nice.
Is this going to go on for an hour?
No, here's the capo.
Oh, okay.
Here's fucking Booster Gold T-shirt, dude.
Nice. That's a nice one.
I'm gonna get this with a yellow thermal, and come December, I'm just gonna be just like Booster Gold.
Did she ask you to buy it with your discount?
No. It's a gift for me. On a T-shirt, fucking Old Republic or whatever the fuck. I don't even know. So all that excitement.
T Republic, probably. Not
T-
Old Republic.
I was gonna tie into your little program you do, the Force and Sensitive.
Yeah.
Unlimited merchandising.
Unlimited merchandising, yep.
Merchandising.
Aries fucking no-sold anything I showed, and it was all things that he liked.
I was looking for costumes.
You want to go over and take your cosplay?
Yeah,
San Diego chicken costume.
yeah. He just wants San Diego chicken right now. So
That's fair. That's fair. All right, so fine. Thank you for letting me self-indulge.
Yep.
And
Just say the fucking words.
all right.
and then after all that, after you get
all
your
that-
presents,
Yeah.
Good fucking presents.
and then you just dropped off.
All right.
All right, we're back.
Wrap up.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips, the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
I'm Alex West.
And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
All right, we're back on Trick or Treat Radio. And we're going to talk about a movie. That movie is Uncle Peckerhead. This movie is 97 minutes. It is a comedy horror. It is written and directed by Matthew John Lawrence. And the film stars David Littleton as the aforementioned Peckerhead. We also have I hate when they list the cast in the wrong order, so let me click on the additional full cast here. Actually, let me see. I might be able to get it from here. Yeah, okay, I got it here. Chet Siegel, Chloe Rowe, Katrina McNeil, Lucy McMichael, Greg Manis, David Blovband? Maybe that's it? Blovband. That's an interesting name. And as I mentioned, David Littleton as Peck, or Peckerhead. And the synopsis, very simply put, when a punk band scores their first tour, life on the road proves tough when they're joined by a man-eating demon as a roadie. All right, so this one comes from Epic Pictures, and let me see. Let me just pull up. I think it's Dread, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it's Dread Presents and Epic Pictures put this out. And once again, as I mentioned, it was directed by Matthew John Lawrence. All right, so Uncle Peckerhead. First off, you got to admit, you see the title. Doesn't quite tell you much about it. Just that there's an uncle named Peckerhead.
I do want to point out, I called the punk rock aspect right away.
Did you?
I did. I called punk rock.
When did you, or what made you think that?
You said last week about the band and hearing Uncle Peckerhead.
Yeah.
I thought the band was actually going to be called Uncle Peckerhead.
Oh, gotcha.
But I still take credit for a punk band.
So we have seen, I guess in the last few years, we've seen we saw Deathgasm, right? It was a death metal horror movie. We have seen some punk-related stuff like Green Room. I thought there was one other film that we did that had punk in it. Oh, The Ranger, right? The Ranger had like a very punk soundtrack. So we've done a couple, but this is, I think, the first where we've done a horror movie that's based on a punk band, which is, kind of an interesting thing. And just a point of perspective for those of you who aren't as familiar with us as others, Aries and I used to be in bands. Aries was in a punk band, so he can speak specifically about the punk rock life, I would imagine. I know it's a few years removed, Aries, but you won't forget those days completely, right?
Just 1 or 2 years ago, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, I was in metal bands when I was younger, so hopefully I didn't have the same fate as the metalheads in this movie. I was trying to delay for Raven Shadow, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm not delaying anymore. Oh, of course. Look at this. Every fucking time I invoke his name. I feel like he just waits. I feel like you just wait.
Speak his name and he appears.
Yeah, wait outside the fucking doorway, waiting for us to say his name, and then he's gonna fucking sneak in like, look at me.
Yeah, I'm like a chain smoking candy man. It's very exciting.
Chain smoking candy man. I like that. Raven Shadow. So we were talking about, Aries being in a punk band back in the day. You used to go to a lot of shows. You've attended your fair share of punk shows, right?
Oh yeah, man, a bunch. Mostly with Aries, Joey Tron, my buddy Leo. Club fucking Babyhead, the Living Room on Rhode Island. It's been great. It's been great. I love seeing someone shoot heroin in the bathrooms. It's a lot. That's really good.
Although I'm going to take a quick little detour. Dr. Chris says The Losers is on Blu-ray. What do you mean you can't find it?
He can't find it.
I couldn't. Like, I'm not Batman in the Batcave voice analyzing, streaming services. You know what I mean? Like, it's a store that Dr. Chris and I both go to, and I didn't see it there.
You looked at one store and now you can't find it?
I'm like, it's not fucking there.
So
it's not in the used CDs. I don't know where it is.
So it must not be available anywhere.
Find it. It's not on Netflix. It's not on the fucking Hulu or fucking.
Wow. I'm all right. I'm gonna look it up. Let me take a look.
I really. Well, I
oh
love
my
the fucking.
god! Oh my god! 5 seconds. I typed in Losers Blu-ray. It is $9.99 on Amazon.
Jesus, dude, what is your problem?
It's some things. B, I don't go to the Amazon. Okay.
You could use our
Neither
link.
do I.
I can't go on Themyscira because I'm a man.
What?
Y chromosome. I won't say I'm a man, but I have a Y chromosome. What's that?
You know what I think you need, Raven Shadow? I think you need a little Aries rubbed on you.
Rub a little Aries on you.
Yeah, rub a little Aries on him.
I need some Aries musk.
Yeah. Whip
All
out
right,
little
so
Aries.
there you go,
Whip out
Raven.
little Aries and rub it on Raven Shadow.
Not to take away from Marion's gift giving prowess. Like I want to make that clear. I'm not taking away because clearly you thought it was really difficult. So I feel bad taking that away from her now.
Hopefully, she didn't oversell it.
Well, actually, it was Dr. Chris. It wasn't me.
Fuck up my 2-year anniversary, Dr.
Yeah.
Chris.
Now you're like, well, I guess that gift wasn't so special after all.
I was like, how'd you find it? Motherfucker, I typed it in Google.
Motherfucker, it took me 2 seconds to type in fucking Amazon.
Dummy.
Well, she could get some really fucking good gifts for you because you have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
How'd you get that? How'd you get the pizza to come here?
She could get you a book. She could get you the book, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Anything.
How'd you get the Crow soundtrack for me? I didn't think that was available anymore. It's only on,
They don't make
it's only on
CDs
cassette.
On cassette. That's funny.
You love that soundtrack too, right?
I do love the fucking. I love the fucking. Even the who's the guy you like with the fucking hair? Tim Burton looking motherfucker. The Cure track's dope.
Yeah, it is.
I love the.
Oh shit! Corny just posted. It's at Best Buy, just what the doctor suggested. So you can even just go to Best Buy and you can find the Losers there.
I did. Okay, I did. I should have called you guys, I guess.
All right, so let's jump into this movie. Oh shit! All right, so Uncle Peckerhead begins with Judy, who is leaving her job. And she apparently makes really good or really shitty scones, depending on who you talk to, right?
Yep.
Raven Chow, have you ever made a scone?
I made a scone? No, dude, I don't.
Have you ever eaten a scone?
Do you know what a scone is?
Do you know what a scone is?
Yeah.
Small republic island in off of St. Croix.
A schooner is a sailboat, dummy.
Yeah, that's a lot funny. I should have said that. Yeah. That's funny.
That would have been better than what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
How
dumb bastard.
Raven Shadow, how the hell did you become the winning sperm? How did you win?
Did he win, though? Really?
Well, he won. It's the rest of us that lost. But how did you become the winning sperm? How did you do it?
Wait, he's going to turn this into a fucking most winningest sperm ever, right? Like two-time champion with sperm.
I am the most winningest sperm. That's right. Shaking, winningest sperm that Al could provide back in 6 in San Francisco, which is fucking weird that I knew that I was conceived in fucking California.
That is a little weird.
Capital California? Is that what you said?
You were conceived in California?
I was, yeah.
Are you sure?
I mean, I was kind of there, I guess.
That might explain a lot.
Well, you were in your father's balls.
Nice.
What's it like in there, by the way?
Father's Day coming. Harley posters and fucking cigarette smoke. I mean, I don't know.
I was Skinner's concert.
I was made in California. That's fucking weird.
Made in California. Yeah, you and the raisins.
Raisin Shadow.
Michael Raisin Shadow.
The California Raisin Shadows.
Heard it through the grapevine. That's fucking weird. Parents assholes.
Michael
Dick.
Raisin Shadow.
Oh boy. All right, we're gonna talk about this movie sometime or what?
Anthony Kiedis.
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking about scones. That's right. So Judy leaves her job, and then she goes across the street where there is a club, which looks like a pretty, like it was like a kind of like a old theater with a marquee, and it looked like a really kind of like nice club, almost like a here anyways, probably not quite as big, but like a House of Blues, really kind of nice venue, you know. And so they're looking to get a gig. Her new band, who it sounds like hasn't really played any or many shows, and you know, the guy told her that he wasn't going to book them. He wasn't even going to consider booking them until she gives him a demo. So she has the demo, hands him the demo, and basically, you know, he's like, yeah, don't call me until I listen to it. Give me till Friday. So, oh boy, what's he doing now? Oh, he's getting all his baby. Okay. So I'm near the equipment. I got a little worried.
Look at him getting all Italian on us.
For those not watching the video, Raven Shadow was getting near the mixer. I got a little worried there for a sec.
He got close enough to screw it up, so let's hope he can.
Raven Shadow, you were close enough. I thought you were gonna, you know, like unplug something or twiddle some knobs again.
No, man, I was fucking tiptoeing through the fucking tulip. Just, I found out. Actually, I saw that he has a little weird baby stash over here, like
baby stash, like dead babies.
Fucking, like no,
that's gonna be the sequel to Uncle Peckerhead.
Sit your ass down, Raisin Shadow.
Oh boy! All right, so let's get back into the movie, and so Judy is it's Judy, right? Yeah, not Jody. Judy. So Judy gives the tape to the promoter and is, you know, all sort of you know, nervous and excited and wanting to play this big show. I can't remember the name of the band. Do any of you guys remember the name of the headliner they wanted to open up for? Nah.
The Queef Queens.
Yes, I think that was that. Something like that, yeah. So they want to open up for the Queef Queens. And so after this she goes home and talks to her bandmates who are asleep. It was like 4 p.m. or something like that. They were supposed to clean up. There's an eviction notice on the door, and we find out that they're getting ready for their first tour. So they wanted to play this big show, so they figured they'd do this quick little, like, 6 shows in 7 days tour, like just around sort of their, I think it was around their state or at least in their vicinity. They weren't traveling too far, and they. And then from there, they go to get the van, and it's getting repossessed. So they have a tour. They have no van. They're like, what the fuck do we do? So then they print up flyers that say, can we please borrow your van? And like basically place it on every single van that they see around town. And they have one more flyer, and they find a van in like a off in some like parking lot. They put it on there, and then they walk away, and then out of the back comes Uncle Peckerhead. He comes out, and he's like, "What are you kids doing? Putting on my on my van?
This is private property."
Private property, yeah. So we have Uncle Peckerhead, kind of a little bit of a southern drawl, and kind of like a real. We later find out he's sort of like this nice, sort of affable guy, right? Where he's like, got this really like nice kind of thing about him, Brave Chow, go ahead.
Is it fair to say he's a weird Ernest P. Worrell meets Sid Haig vibe?
Now that you mention it,
I don't know if I would go that far with it.
Come on, like
he just seemed like a kindly old gentleman, probably in his mid to late 50s.
He's very polite.
Yeah.
But I mean, and let's take it back a little further. I enjoyed watching the members of the band, but everything that Johnny described, they're not that very likable from the jump. So like Judy quits her job, so she's the bass player and lead singer, right?
Co-singer.
Co-singer. But so even like when she's getting that really awkward goodbye from her coworkers, she only wants to be in rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
Even the fact they left there, and these aren't entirely spring chickens either in terms of this world. I mean, they definitely made a point that
30s, right? Oh yeah. That's right. She's
Judy
27. Yeah.
27, so they're in late 20s, which yes is still children from our perspective.
Yeah.
But like they have no problem letting their house, which is a pretty dope spot, get foreclosed. She quits her job. Evicted, right? But they obviously didn't make payments, right?
Right.
They tagged their band name on the front of the fucking door. It wasn't like Aries' old fucking, Gotham City like band room we used to go to. This is a residence. Didn't give a fuck about the job. Didn't give a fuck about paying bills. They only cared about the rock, which is cool, but I think it says something about their character. Does that make sense? Is that fair?
This was their last ditch. This was their all in. That's what this was. She quit her job. They diverted all their money towards this. I mean, they didn't have a lot to put towards it, so that's why they lost their van, they lost their apartment, but they were going all in on this. This was if this failed, that was it. They were done. They were gambling on this. And a lot of bands do this and not many succeed.
Yeah. A lot of them, a ton of them fail.
Yeah. I mean, every band has that dream that they're going to make it big. Yeah. And you saw her dream right from the beginning. She had that fantasy sequence.
Yeah, it was definitely a make or break moment for our trio here, and they went out and did what they felt was best, and really what every successful band has to do in order to get their big break.
Every band does that. Very few succeed from there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the equivalent of basically like taking a leap. Like you have to do it, right? Like put it all out there, take that fucking leap and see what happens. And this is what it was for them. They were doing that. So, and they were desperate as well. Like that's one of the things that I think is clear as we sort of move on a little bit and learn a little bit more about what's going on, that they are desperate to make this happen no matter what. Because this is their big break, or what they hope is going to be their big break. So, so they meet this guy who ends up being Uncle Peckerhead, and at first he's like, "What are you kids doing putting stuff on my van?" And then the cops show up, or cops drive by, and he sort of gets a little bit nervous because I assume he's it's a given. It's assumed that he's living out of his van, which we find out later he is. So he doesn't have a place. He's living out of the van. And, I guess there's more information we'll find out later, which we won't divulge. But,
I mean, the opening sequence explains why he's nervous about the police.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I kind of like... I recall that, but yeah, you're right about that. That it does sort of give that perspective. So eventually Uncle Peckerhead's like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me you guys were a band?" Or whatever. And he's like, "I can roadie for you." And he basically says, "Just give me gas money." And did he want a cut, or is it just gas money? I forget. I think he just wanted a cut and some gas money. Gas and food.
Gas and food.
And that's all he wanted, and he would drive them around for the tour in his van. So, obviously kind of a weird situation, someone you just meet, and they wanted to borrow a van. They didn't want to they weren't necessarily looking for someone to drive them. So, but from there, we head out on, basically head out on the road after that. Is there anything else worth mentioning you guys want to bring up before that happens? I think it's all sort of like, yeah. So they head out. First show, they get there. They're supposed to be there at 5. They're all worried about getting there and being late. And they get there and nobody's fucking there. Like, not even the promoter. Which, Aries, I'm sure you've encountered some situations like that, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've actually been on both ends of that, where it's like I've shown up at the time they said, no one there, and I've worked at clubs where it's like loading at 7, and at 9 o'clock the band's like, we're here. Yeah, motherfucker, you're not sound checking. Just get up there.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true. I did forget that you've also been on the other side.
Oh yeah,
things.
both sides of that. I mean, I was never a promoter booker. I've just worked at the club, so I've seen both sides of that, and I'm sympathetic to both sides of it. It's weird.
Yeah. So they get there and they're just waiting in the van because nobody's showing up, and then somebody fucking shows up. And then they go. Judy goes in to talk about, hey, sound check. When do we load in? Find out when load in is, and the dude's just fucking eating a sandwich, fucking like glutton, like
yeah.
He goes to shake his hand, and he's fucking licking lettuce off his fingers.
Yeah, the guy's disgusting.
with a total not give a shit attitude.
Yeah. So and then he's like, what did he say? There was no sound check, right? Is that what it was? Or he's like, no sound check.
No sound check. But can you do 3 hours with 15-minute break between sets? Yeah. She's like, we can do 20 minutes.
22 if we do a cover.
yeah.
Misfits cover.
Yeah.
That's pushing it for a Misfits cover. I don't know.
That's honestly, when my band first started out, that was actually one of our concerns. Because we only had about 25 to 30 minutes worth of material on our first show, and we're like, holy shit! Hopefully they don't ask us to play longer because we don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, So I can actually kind of relate to that, in terms of having a 5 songs or whatever prepared and then nothing else. Because when you're starting out, like, you just learn, you work on a few songs, you get them, and then you do that. And you could probably do a few covers and stuff like that, but for a band like that, you maybe want to do one cover, but you don't want to do more than that because then you're a cover band, right?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. So,
but I mean that's like the worst case scenario with them, because I remember being in that situation where it's like, yeah, we need you to play 25 minutes, and you show up and they're like, yeah, the band canceled. Can you do 45? And you're like, fuck. It's like, okay, I guess we could drag out some of the songs,
We'll play this one twice.
Yeah.
Well, can you guys do that cover we were practicing? And they're like, no, I don't remember. So, yeah, it's so I can totally relate to that. And then they finally get load in, and there's like, and then they're doing sound check, and it was like everyone's had a sound check like that. It was miserable. There's feedback, and it sounds terrible, and then there's literally 3 people in there, 3 people in the fucking club, and they're all like older towny guys, right? Which I think everyone's played that kind of show as well.
Oh yeah, playing to the bartender and his girlfriend. Yeah, that's a fun time.
Yeah, exactly. So show ends. They get their money, $3, $1 a head. So that also is very reminiscent of some of the payouts that I've received. So they get $3 and that's it. And so they're kind of pissed, like they thought that they were going to get more money. They once again, it's kind of like, that's kind of like a story that everyone has with a promoter. They got stiffed. They didn't get as much as they were thought they were going to get, or whatever. There's various scenarios. And in this situation, they were kind of pissed, and they didn't have enough money to pay for gas or food or anything. So Uncle Peckerhead says, I'm going to go in and I got to go to the bathroom. And so he goes, and it sounds like he's going to shake down the promoter. And so he's in there kind of a while, and Judy's getting a little concerned about what's going on. So she decides to head in there, and she happens to walk into the office, and she finds Uncle Peckerhead as a monster eating the entrails of the promoter. So yeah, I mean, out of all the things that she was anticipating finding, I'm sure that was not on the list whatsoever.
Mm.
So this might be a good opportunity to talk about Uncle Peckerhead and his condition, as it's referred to. At midnight, every day at midnight for 13 minutes, he turns into a monster. Now, he resembles a zombie, I would say, and has some zombie-like sort of predilections, but I've seen him referred to as a demon. So I don't know. Obviously, he's not dead, because he's after the 13 minutes, he's alive, he's fine. So I guess that's probably accurate. That he's a demon. But yeah, for 13 minutes every single day at midnight, he turns into a monster, and so he says he can control it. He sedates himself, but in this case, he didn't want to because he wanted to basically get back at this promoter and then also get them their money that they deserved. So he kills his promoter, basically tears him to shreds, eats his entrails, and steals the money. And Judy happens to walk in and see this happening. And so she heads back out to the van, and she's like, oh, my God, like what I just saw. And then so they all head in, and everyone is just pretty much vomiting at what they see with the dead promoter.
Now, I love the banter before that. No, you were mistaken.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
That whole banter back and forth, I absolutely loved that. And it wasn't until they were like, I'm going to go look, before he was like, wait a second, maybe I should explain.
Yeah, it's a good point, because Uncle Peckerhead is trying to deny it, obviously, and he's like, "No, you didn't see anything. He's not dead. And they're like, "All right, let's go see." And he's like, "All right, well, honestly."
As far as the puking goes, the only one who was puking was Max.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
The male guitar lead, and also co-vocalist, who, with a few extra pounds added to him, looks amazingly like El Goro. And his reactions to things in this movie are hysterical. I think he's the best. I think he has the best performance in this movie.
I am going to 100% agree with you.
I think he was
verbal
fantastic.
reactions, outstanding.
I thought he was fantastic.
And he was the part of Max was played by Jeff Riddle, is the name of the actor.
Mm. Yeah.
Who actually did all the songs for the movie.
Oh, really?
Really?
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that.
And he's just, throughout the whole movie, I thought he was just a shining beacon in this movie. He was just so good.
Yeah, I thought he definitely was funny, had some great reactions, and I also thought that a lot of the comedic timing between the three of them was pretty spot on. I think Judy had great comedic timing in because this film required it, right? Like a lot of it kind of requires like the right timing for jokes and gags to land. If not, it wouldn't land, and I think that the three band members had that. And I think that even, the actor who played Peckerhead, David Littleton, I also think he as well, I thought that they had pretty decent chemistry. Like, I'm not going to say they're all like outstanding performances, but I think that the thing that had to work in this was the timing, and I think that it worked for pretty much all four of those characters.
Well, what I like most about our core four here is that they blend in. They don't stand out. They look like average, ordinary people. When you think of a startup band, or really anything like in that regard in film, it's always somebody who's what's the word? Polished up. And I appreciate that. There's little physical flaws in each one of these in everybody here, and I really appreciate that, because usually everyone's all looking proper and statuesque or buff or anything like that. You know, it's a big bunch of horse shit. I hate that. I really hate that. Here you got your core four here, and they look like average, ordinary people.
Well, see, I mean, I'll agree with you, and I'll take that a step further. I like the fact that this punk band didn't look like the stereotypical movie punk band.
Yeah.
Like there was no one in the studded leather jacket and the mohawk or anything else. They just looked like three average people that just love punk rock.
Although we do run into another band that.
Oh, that's. Well, yeah, he was just a douchebag.
But still.
But I mean,
they somehow
look like
fit.
average people, but when they played their music, you 100% bought that they loved their music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think you bought that they were friends. Like this group got together, and even Max's association, as we learn later on, was kind of an oh, yep, that makes sense to me. And I liked Judy. She had a very real person meets Jessica Jones Netflix show kind of vibe to her. Although there were moments in this where, let's face it, they weren't really a band. And one scene in particular that really drove it home was when that Judy asked for a drum roll and the drummer had no rhythm. Now, I'm very Caucasian.
Well, I think that was sort of like sarcastic.
Oh, no. I think
I gotta side with Raven Shadow. There was no rhythm in that drum roll.
Okay.
I got to agree with him too.
like,
Believe it or not.
There was one scene that was like, yeah, that was it.
right, but like it's like drum roll to the drum, like Lars Ulrich. He was playing like Animal from the fucking Muppet Show, and that's cool. Despite, I feel the occasional look I may have. I am no musician. That's something I don't have any frame of reference for. But what I think this movie, it wasn't about that. It took the actors first. But when they were on stage, I think they cut it enough where you could fake them being in a band.
Oh yeah, you 100% bought her as a drummer. If you took that scene out of there, I would believe that she played her own drums.
Right. But that was a big, right?
Her just doing that table drumming, I was like, yeah, she's got no rhythm.
Yeah, but I mean,
and I'm sure she's not an actual drummer.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could credit that to the editing. I mean, you edit a movie the right way, you can make her look like fucking Buddy Rich,
Or like Lars Ulrich,
Neil Peart.
Fine. I mean, Lee.
Well, one thing I found interesting. So I was reading an article on Decibel about this, and so there's some lyrics I'm going to read. This is from. This is not from the band from the movie, but let me read the lyrics first and then read a little bit about it. My little love, I am not around. I've taken lost and I don't want to be found. There's a lot that is wrong in this world and me. There's a hole in my chest where my heart used to be. Says these words from the track Trash Art by now defunct Killer Husker Du by way of Dinosaur Jr., by way of Avail Philadelphia outlet, The Holy Mess, kept rolling around. So that's from a band called The Holy Mess. It says, kept rolling around in writer-director Matt John Lawrence's head as he worked his way through the script for what would become the sly, enlivening, deliriously entertaining, sometimes shocking, paradoxically life-affirming punk rock horror comedy Uncle Peckerhead. So that actually explains a lot, looking at those lyrics and understanding what happens in the film. I think that is interesting, that's sort of what spawned the sort of the inspiration for the movie, at least, By the way, are you familiar with the Holy Mess, Aries? I don't know if they're like a
No, actually, I'm not.
Okay.
I mean, it's Husker Du and Dinosaur Jr.
Yeah. So it looks like it's available online. I just found a link to it, so maybe you want to look them up if you like those other bands. But yeah, I think it's interesting that's where it came from. That I always love that too, because lyrics are very up to the listener. It's one of those things that can be interpreted in many different ways. A lot of times, even incorrectly, right? Like it may be about this, but when you hear it in the moment that you're in your life, it seems like it is this. I think that's one of the great things about really good lyrics is that it resonates with the listener in a way that makes sense to them, whether or not that was the intention. So, and I love being able to sort of like, and it's sort of similar to, I don't know, like occasionally, maybe I'm crazy for doing this. I don't know if any of you guys do this, but occasionally when I'm on, like, let's say, well, I haven't been on the fucking subway in a while, but if I'm on like public transportation or something like that, you come across a lot of people, right? And I sometimes try to envision, like, what's this person's story? Like, I've never seen this person in my life. What's their story? Where do they come from? Where are they going? Things like that. Like, there's just so many interesting stories in the world that you can build based on a very little information, So I think... Go ahead, Raven Shadow.
It's a fun game to play, too, even people watching. Like,
But
before the fucking apocalypse, you could have dinner and be like, take a couple in the corner. And I've been there with people, and, like, we gave them the backstory.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's a part-time electrician, but she's married to a fucking Kennedy, but she's slumming. You know what I mean? Like, you just fuck around. Fuck. But
yeah,
but
exactly.
you take someone's look and you give them I've driven by like some fucked up dude with like wearing no pants and like a blazer pushing a shopper cart.
Was that Dynamo?
It might have been. And it's awesome. Oh no, I'm actually going to his house to pick him up. Pull over here. But yeah, you look at someone like, oh, that person, and you just have a vibe,
Yeah, and I didn't want to go too deep off into that end, but basically, it's just like and so in the director, Matthew John Lawrence, in the way that he sort of interpreted that is interesting because he came up with an entire film script based. I mean, he didn't come up with the script based on that, but that's what inspired it, So I find that very interesting, and it is a sort of punk rock song. I would play some of the song, but YouTube has been very dicky about copyright stuff, so I'm not going to.
Marshmallow dicky.
But yeah, I mean I think that's really cool, and I'm glad I actually read that because, it is interesting to see where this came from, and obviously he's a fan of the music, which it shows, I think, in this film. I think you can see that. So I'm, just kind of glad to get that perspective of it. Now, what did you guys think of Uncle Peckerhead and sort of his condition, as we're calling it? MZ, I know you're a big fan of horror movies and monsters. So, what was your take?
Yeah. Oh boy. I think it kind of fell flat. We didn't get to see as much of him as I would have liked. The demon, the Peckerhead demon. I really would have liked to see more of him. The normal, average, everyday Uncle Peckerhead, he seemed fine. I think the character was about as fleshed out as it could possibly be. I mean, you didn't really need to know much more about him than what the band of Duh had to know about him. And but I think when the demon side of him came out, it just came off as somewhat underwhelming to me. I would have liked to have seen more of him, and it was kind of disappointing when we didn't get to see that.
Well,
okay, now I just want clarification. When you say you see more of him, you want more screen time of the character.
Yeah, more screen time of the demon Peckerhead.
Because part of my issue with the demon is the amount of that we're seeing him because of the budget of this movie. like I thought the demon was a little too well lit and showing the practical effect flaws.
If it was meant to be serious, I would agree with you. But seeing as how it's a comedy, I think we're supposed to take it all in stride.
I mean, I'll give you that. But yeah, I mean, well, just because it was very comical in the way it was played out. Okay, well, I'm gonna ask you to elaborate. Where would you want the more demon?
I just think there wasn't enough of it. At the times when we did see him, he did it. He did his thing. Disemboweling and things like that. It made things a little bit interesting, but the total amount of screen time for each time that he did appear, and it might have been 3 or 4 different separate times when he showed up, really didn't last all that long. I mean, I imagine for a disemboweling demon who eats livers and hearts and kidneys and intestines and whatever, wouldn't need that much time to dispatch a victim. But whereas it's a comedy, or it's a horror comedy, I want to see more. I mean, I think the practical effects weren't terrible. They were really good in some areas, actually.
Yeah, and I thought that they were also played to comedic effect at times as well, which, I think that you can actually play with that and have it not look as realistic, and I thought that they did. So I thought that was effective.
Yeah, I think if it was played to a more serious effect, the comedy aspect would be gone. And there were some comedy aspects in how a lot of these people were dispatched.
Oh yeah, I mean, agreed. There was just parts of it. There were times where the effects looked more like a rubber mask than any time was spent on the makeup itself. Yeah. That is more of what I have the issue with the effects, because I do understand it is a low budget, and a majority of it I don't have a problem with. Even with saying that you want more screen time, I don't have an issue with the amount of screen time, because you increase his screen time, then the overall movie needs to get longer. You need to increase the number of tour stops, and then this movie becomes more tedious than anything.
Yeah,
I think the amount of screen time the demon had was appropriate for this movie.
See, I don't, because I mean, after all, the movie is named after him.
Well, not for nothing. Here you go. What about Beetlejuice?
Thank you.
Keaton really fucking in that joint.
I think it's something like 13 minutes.
Truly, right?
Very little screen time. Yes.
And that's not. I'm not busting your balls, Monster Zero. I think that it was more about the band, and this guy was an element in it. Yes, I think that maybe some stuff was more lit, but they already established that he only gets 15 minutes of demon time.
13.
13 minutes of it. On 27 locations. Go, Johnny.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I actually like the way that they did it, because a lot of it was shown in sort of flashback. It's like he did the thing, and then you're like, how did he do it? And then they show, I thought it was actually pretty smart the way they did it in this flashback sequence, where you can just make it kind of like a quick montage and you don't have to show everything. I thought that was smart. So I don't know. Obviously, I think MZ and I disagree.
I thought that was great, because you know what? They suckered me in every time with that. They're like, motherfucker, they're going to just gloss over this and not show it. And then they flash back to it, and it's like, okay, I'm in. It pissed me off, then drove me right back in multiple times.
Yeah, but then you have a horror comedy that is holding back, and I hate that. I hate that.
Though. I don't know.
I feel that it's holding back. When I watched this, I felt somewhat cheated.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I felt somewhat cheated because I wanted to see. I mean, we get to see Uncle Peckerhead throughout the entire film, or at least 95% of it, but we don't get to see that we don't get to see that much of the demon. And I really wanted to see more of that. And I just feel like for a horror comedy to, elaborate on the gore, to elaborate on practical effects, to elaborate on the demon, I just felt like it held back. It pulled back some. I don't think they gave it their all. Budget notwithstanding, I could care less about that. That makes no difference to me.
But it does, because everything you're bitching about is more budget.
Yeah.
Well, anybody can bitch about anything and then blame it on the budget.
But everything you want more of this movie is more money.
Like
so you're bitching about the budget.
Well, then, I'm just reviewing what I see on the screen.
Do you have a problem with the budget?
Bottom line. I don't know what the budget is. It could be $10 for all I know. I don't know what the budget for this movie is, nor do I care.
But apparently you do.
No, you do.
No, I don't have a problem. The movie is fine with me. You're the one who wants more.
Yeah. So you take a couple of things out and you put in the gore.
Take out what? Take out what?
Take
what
out
are you
what?
taking out? What are you taking out?
Well, you know what? I think we could get rid of that dude that Max practically fell in love with, the blowjob eyes.
What do you mean? It's the midpoint of the movie.
Huh?
It's the midpoint of the movie.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I think MZ's getting. I don't mean getting hung up on, but I think he is. Like, the movie is called Uncle Peckerhead. I can understand maybe some people want more of the titular character. I get that. I think this movie was about Judy for the most part. And I think having that character, what was his name? Nick. I think having Nick in this was all about Judy's arc. And I think that is why he was in there, and that why he was sort of integral to what was going on, is because at its heart, this movie is about Judy. Calling the movie Judy isn't going to be a movie that people want to see.
That showed her mature as a character.
Yes.
That one, I don't want to say it. That one scene.
Yeah.
Like you can just see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone that sees the movie knows what scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of hilarious too.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that.
And it gave, and once again, I've never been on tour, but I've been on benders. I mean, but they're traveling around, and I'm pretty sure they came to Massachusetts at some point. We freeze framed a couple of the metalheads in the parking lot.
Yeah, they had mass plates.
Their map wasn't in Massachusetts. That was Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
Yeah.
The traveling metalheads.
Okay, well, yeah, but they were mass plates, right?
Yeah. Mass tag.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
There's a lot of metalheads there too. So that's probably.
But you know what? One thing I liked and didn't like about this movie was all over the place, time frame wise.
Well,
because they were selling set demos, but the metalhead's car, that was a 2000 plus Toyota Camry.
And the problem was, this movie. Thank you, Aries, for going there. But this movie should have been 90s or late 90s.
Well, here's the thing: they never established the timeline.
The only problem was the car, and also there was one scene when Judy is standing in front, and then you see a sign for the wife in the club.
For the what?
There's a sign where I think she's yelling at the band, but you see there's like a thumbtack Word document piece of paper that gives the Wi-Fi code of the club.
Oh yeah, but that's, like I said, I love and hate that this movie doesn't exist in a particular time.
Yeah. I was going to mention that too.
You're dealing with cassettes, but there's modern cars. Like it's like an alternate reality, no timeline given.
Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily bother me. I mean, that's one thing I like is when they sort of play with that, like they're a little fast and loose. But I do prefer if it's defined in the actual film, like if they define the world that they're living in, and not that this film needed to do it, but it didn't, and maybe that's all they had access to was cassettes. My guess is if they can't pay their fucking rent, they probably can't afford to get a computer and some version of Pro Tools or Logic or whatever and record a demo that way. So this is probably the way that they had to do it. And maybe that's definitely a punk rock thing. Punk rock in terms of like DIY, just fucking hit the recorder, do it, and put it out there,
But the simple fact that the club didn't have a problem with the cassette demo, everyone was just accepting that they can pay $5 for a 7-song demo and $1 button. It obviously reset the timeline somewhat money-wise.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to start to wrap things up here because we're getting close to 10:30, and we typically are done with the film review by now. But I mean, I get what MZ's saying. Like the titular character, Uncle Peckerhead. If you wanted more from it, if you wanted more of him in it, I get it. But in essence, at its core, this film is about Judy. For the most part, I mean, it starts with her and it ends with her in a sense. Well, I guess in a sense, the film does open with Uncle Peckerhead, but the integral important scenes are all based around Judy and her character.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but that's like I don't know. I mean, there's bunches of movies out there that aren't about what the title of the movie is necessarily. There's a lot of I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head right now, of course, but there's ones out there that the title has nothing to do with the film or has little to do with the film.
No, obviously, I would agree with you, but with a title like Uncle Peckerhead, I mean that's a title that screams for the titular character.
Yeah,
No,
we get a bunch of it.
I mean
the scream
that,
shit.
that's a very brazen and obvious title.
Okay, how much screen time did Jaws have?
Thank you, Aries.
Oh, you're not actually going to compare Jaws to this movie.
Hey, why not? It's the name of the movie.
Jaws. There's a huge difference between. There's a huge difference. Jaws is a serious movie made by a competent director.
Whoa!
Who ran into nothing but problems with his animatronic, which is why he had to cut it out. Financial issues restricted the amount of time that monster was on the screen,
and made it all the better.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you. You proved my point. Thank you. Cut, Prince.
But
go to Buster.
But the difference is that Jaws is not a horror comedy.
What?
That
has
nothing
a horror
to
comedy.
matter,
nothing to do with
because
of
the title. No.
Your argument is the monster's name is in the title. Go to Buster. He's muted us all. Go
You're unmuted.
It's only to you. It's not to the fucking world.
Fucking Batman Returns only for fucking 15 minutes. Every other motherfucker was in that movie but Batman in that fucking movie.
Well, why do you think it tanked?
Yeah, Batman drove by.
Batman didn't tank.
Batman Returns tanked.
Did not.
I mean, in comparison to the first film, it didn't. Well,
it did not.
I think it probably did more.
I think Jaws is made by a competent director, or at the time a competent director.
Yeah. Listen to you. You fucking hate Spielberg.
Yeah, I do. He's terrible now.
Headset back.
This movie with a very brazen and upfront title like Uncle Peckerhead that is declaring itself a horror comedy, and with a title like that, how could it not be? And I just want more of the demon. I just got shorted by that. Say again?
The demon's name isn't Uncle Peckerhead. The character's name is.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
Peckerhead.
actually,
a lot of characters throughout the movie.
Well, actually, that's the weirder thing. Where does this whole uncle thing come from?
It's kind of as the story progresses.
I mean,
and they accept him as more of a father figure.
Yeah,
that's where.
Father figure. All right, so you call him. So you call him Father Peckerhead, not Uncle Peckerhead.
Jesus.
If you ask me, I think the original title of the movie was Peckerhead, and they were forced to put Uncle in front of it, or put anything in front of it.
I think there actually already is a Peckerhead.
Well, just because I got the information right here, Dark Knight Rises was the highest-grossing Batman film of that trilogy, the Nolan trilogy. Just so you know, MZ.
Oh, the Nolan trilogy.
I wasn't talking Nolan. He was talking about.
He was talking about the Burton sequel.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I
Burns.
Oh,
He meant Burns versus Batman.
Yeah. Okay. I for some reason heard Rises in my head, so I'll look that up then. Returns made $266 million worldwide, and the original made $411. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I misunderstood.
It made serious money. It made serious money, but not as good as the original.
Yeah.
Sir, let's throw it down.
Still nothing wrong with $266 million, though.
No, definitely not. All right. So I do want to wrap up, but there's probably some outstanding stuff here that I wanted to mention. And one thing I did, so Aries kind of touched on this, and I didn't know, I was speaking about that band Holy Mess. The sort of main songwriter and vocalist from that was the guy who played Max in this.
Really?
So he was the lead singer and songwriter in The Holy Mess, and that's how this all sort of came to be, I guess. The director, Matthew John Lawrence, got in touch with him, and that's why he came on board. He did all the music, and then he also ended up being a producer and acting in the film. So it's kind of cool. So Jeff Riddle
he was the best. Yeah, he was the best thing in the whole movie, I think. I mean, I thought he was hysterical. When you see him side by side next to the guy with the blowjob eyes, I mean, it's hysterical, the height difference. The guy, it's like looking at the Three Stooges. It's like,
yeah,
it's like he's just so tall, and then you got this guy who's all the way up here.
He had a boner?
Yeah, he had a boner thinking about his teacher. Mr. whatever his name was.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. And we didn't really talk about the other band in that sort of last show that they played.
Yeah.
Or one of the last shows, I should say. The one that they were was originally the headliner and then wasn't, and like that fucking singer, man. Like everybody has met. Like Aries, you must have met someone like that.
Yeah.
We
all know that.
We for fear of calling someone out, I guess I'll just fucking say it. We when I was back, when the Deadites were playing a lot of shows way back in the late 90s, we played a show. We opened up for the Electric Hellfire Club, and when we met the singer of Electric Hellfire Club, he basically thought we were like gophers to like get him stuff. He's like, "Oh, are you the helper?" Or like whatever. Like Mars would probably tell the story better than I did. But he thought we were just like there to like help him or something like that. And like we went to shake his hand, and he does one of these, like you extend your hand to shake, and he does one of these and grabs your hand and like shakes it like that. And I was like, "Are you fucking serious, dude?" I don't know if you guys the whole dainty
really?
like handshake, yeah. And he was a fucking piece of work, man. So
what a douchebag.
Yeah, but that's kind of like the guy in this reminded me of that situation. But yeah, I just thought that was that character was, I thought, well portrayed and kind of fucking spot on and hilarious.
Yeah, unfortunately that hit a little too close to home. Like, just shivers up my spine, both when I was in the band and working at the bar. Just of those fucking douchebags.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we should probably head to the verdict on this one because we're running a little bit late here, and then you guys can give any final thoughts. Or Raven Show, was there anything else you wanted to comment on before we head to the verdict?
I'll go verdict. Go verdict.
Okay, let's do the verdict. Oops.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right. Months of zero.
This movie has some moments that are a pure joy. The writing, I think, is very good. I think the jokes, for the most part, hit them out of the park. I think they're very good. What's his name? Jeff Riddle?
Jeff Riddle, yep.
Jeff Riddle, yeah. I think he puts in the best performance in the entire film. I think he's just hysterical. His character of Max is just ridiculous. It's so over the top. Yet I can also believe it to be a very real person too. Yeah. But then again, that could be said for everybody in this movie. I think everybody kind of played their roles to a decent degree, of believability. I mean, I don't know much about punk music. I know very little about independent bands. Not really much outside of the Deadites, and I've been hanging around with those guys for the past 20 years. So, I mean, if they say that what they say see in this movie is what happens in real life, then I'm willing to believe it. The problem I have with this film is that it doesn't push the envelope. It plays it a little safe. It's the kind of movie that looks good on paper, but when it's translated to film, it kind of falls apart. Which is, I'm not saying it's a terrible film, but it's one that is just on the fence for me, where you have the writing kind of pushing it to one side where it could be a treat, to the other side where the script just doesn't feel like it's pushing that envelope. And because there's a lot of potential here, I just don't think they pushed it far enough. Ever since I watched it, I've been teetering back and forth as to what I was going to rate it. And the more I think about it, the more I think I'm going to say that this is a extremely minor trick. I just think that the titular character should have had more going on. As far as the demon aspect of this character goes. The human character is fine, played the role well, but I really wanted to see that demon character, and I really wanted to see some really hardcore gore because of what we were advertised. To me, isn't exactly what we get. So this is a really on the cusp trick. I would say 51% trick, 49% treat, but it is a trick nonetheless.
All right, let's hear from Michael Ravenshadow.
I probably couldn't disagree more. I think we've watched a lot of films this year, or we discussed films this year that had a horror comedy slant, and most times it's more comedy than horror, and you don't feel a sense of dread. And I feel that there were some maybe funny moments in this, but I don't think the comedy was the defining focus. I think it was an idiot band doing dumb shit and being fucking not practical. drove some of the comedy, but I don't think it made the viewer feel like they were watching fucking something slapsticky. I think that Peckerhead was the demon, whether he was in human form or demon form. And I thought he was remarkably charismatic. I thought it was Judy's story. I do take it back to Beetlejuice and Jaws, where you can't have it be all demon all the fucking time.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. And the fact that I'd be really fucking concerned. Listen, I fractured the occasional law and commandment in my 43 years. I have. And whatever the fuck, you can't judge me. But if I was going to start on a tour and my fucking roadie killed somebody, I would probably fucking call the cops. These kids didn't give a fuck about, and the people that were in the wake of Peckerhead weren't all terrible people. They were assholes. They were dicks, but they weren't like people that deserved to die. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think the Scooby Gang in this picture were almost as accountable as Peckerhead was. It was, and I was very concerned about the consequences. I was very happy there were consequences in this film. But I think this had more horror than comedy, and I mean that as a strength of the picture, where there were parts that were like, "Oh shit, that's fucking gory. He's eating his balls." The defecation was a weird surprise.
Surprise, yeah.
I feel it changed the power level, or changed the mythology a bit. But no, man. If you want to do, what was the joint with my boy from the Can't Hardly Wait?
Shit. Something Devil's Candy, right?
Devil's Candy, Green Room, and Uncle Peckerhead would be a great triple threat if you just wanted to vibe. And
just wanted to vibe. Although Devil's Candy was more metal, but it did have some punk.
Right, we had metal, but yeah, I'm saying that it's mutually exclusive. I don't know, watch fucking Green Room, Straight Outta Compton, Spinal Tap in this fucking movie. I don't know, it was
Jesus
fun, man.
Christ. All right, well, what is it?
It's a movie, Johnny.
No, your fucking verdict, you asshole.
God damn it.
Fun, right? We all fun.
Say the fucking word.
Say it.
Treat.
All right.
Thank God. Jeez.
Aries.
It's like pulling fucking teeth.
Tell your story.
Oh God, yeah, you're exhausting. I'm
exhausted.
Yeah, go take a nap. Now, normally I am all for everyone having their opinion, but MZ is just fucking wrong. His opinion is wrong. Doesn't fucking get this movie. Yeah, you know what you can do with that finger. Because this movie, I mean, Uncle Peckerhead. That character had a majority, I wouldn't say majority, but had a greater portion of the screen time. Whether he was the demon or the human, he had a lot of the screen time, even though this movie was mainly about Judy and the band. But the character was there. So his main argument is out the door, whether he wants to just accept that the demon is Peckerhead. Whatever. You're fucking wrong. But this movie is so enjoyable. This movie is not a laugh out loud comedy, but it is just a comedy that you sit there with a stupid shit-eating grin on your face as you're watching all this happen, with the absurdity of the kills and what happens. It's just, you just sit there and you get lost in this movie. This movie had a low budget and they did amazing things with that budget. It's not going to be a Hollywood movie. This movie is not going to win an Oscar, but it doesn't need to. This movie just needs to suck you in and have you lose reality for a half hour, and that's exactly what this movie does. Sit down, watch this movie, and this movie is a treat.
All right, and for me, I will also say this is a treat. I had fun with this, and obviously I'm a little bit biased because playing in bands. It's one of those things that I just enjoy seeing that world play out, and I thought this was an interesting take on it, and so I really did enjoy that, and I did. Contrary to what MZ said, I thought that Uncle Peckerhead was played to great effect. I think if there's more of it, it would have been too much. So for me, just counter to what he said, it was just right, and it was a little jarring when they would all of a sudden cut ahead to him being done with the 13 minutes, and then they would go ahead and do like a quick little sort of flashback of like a montage of what happened. But I actually thought that ended up, the first time I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And the second time I was like, okay, actually, like that works. And it actually is kind of comedic the way they did it. And then the final one, obviously, was probably the most comedic and the most effective. So for me, that worked, and I did enjoy it. And I think that it just as a whole, I think this movie does work. It's funny. It's kind of sweet at its core, and there's a good arc for Judy. I think that I guess in a sense, I mean I don't know how much how deep I'm going to get into this, but I think it's interesting to see her kind of grow up and take accountability for things, whether or not that they were entirely her. She sort of enabled some things to happen despite not being her, but in that sense, I guess, you need to take accountability for your actions. So I thought that there was, a decent message going on here, and I thought that it was a sweet movie, and there was some good music, some great performances, and it just was a lot of fun. So especially if you've played in bands, I think you definitely got to check this out. Even if you haven't, like, this will totally work for you. It is a horror comedy. I think it varies on the comedy scale for the four of us. I think some it worked more than it did for others. But no, I dug this, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I think a lot of you also will if you haven't seen it. So, snickers aside at the title, might make you chuckle. There's a lot more to Uncle Peckerhead than sort of a silly title. So go ahead, give it a watch. It's available on VOD. I think most of you...
Oh, God, he's going to throw up.
I'm not allowed to cough?
Uh-oh, he's got the Rona. No, just kidding. All right, so that is going to do it for our discussion of Uncle Peckerhead. It is available on VOD if you want to check it out. Go ahead and give him a few bucks. Rent it. Check it out. All right, now next week... let me make sure. I think this is... I always do that. I always book ahead of time, like weeks or months ahead of time, and then forget to look to make sure it's still hitting its release date. So let me just do that real quick. But if we are going to do it, I think... let's see here. Yes. Okay, it comes out tomorrow. All right, cool. So we are going to be doing a horror western. We've done a few of these over the years. There's not a ton of them. But this one's interesting because it has a connection to a former guest that's been on the show. So the film is The Pale Door, and it will be appearing on. I think it's a Shudder exclusive. I don't know if it's hitting Shudder tomorrow or if it is VOD first. I'll try to get that information before we go off the air. But it is written. It's. Let me go through the director. It's directed by Aaron B. Kuntz, and it is written by Cameron Burns, Aaron B. Kuntz, and Keith Lansdale. You guys know that name, Lansdale?
Lansdale.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Joe R. Lansdale, right?
Yeah.
We know that dude. We had him on the show. But this is his son. His son was one of the writers on this. So, and when you think horror western, I think of Joe R. Lansdale. I don't know about you, Raven Shadow.
No, it's funny. I was watching something about the Ocean comic of Jonah Hex, fucking based on his art back in the day. Like, he's fucking great, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. So this is his son who had co-written the screenplay for this, Keith Lansdale. And the name of the film, as I mentioned, is The Pale Door. So I'm very interested in checking this one out, and hopefully we get something that is, a nice horror western. Oh, and MZ's got a little kitty cat in the live video. Who's that, MZ?
This is BB.
Hey, BB. What does BB think of Uncle Peckerhead?
BB,
Sure.
what did you think of Uncle Peckerhead? She liked it.
All right, good.
Well, she's a big Toxic Avenger 2 fan, and they showed that in the movie.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted, I had a feeling that you might comment on that.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot to, so I'm glad that you did.
With permission, it was used.
Yes. So, that was Toxic Avenger 2, MZ, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, nice little call out there from Toxic Avenger. All right, so that's it. Next week, we're doing The Pale Door. So, if you guys are into horror westerns and you want to go ahead and watch that along with us, check it out and send us a voice message or an email, podcast@trickortreatradio.com, and let us know your thoughts. All right, so that's it for the discussion. Now, we do have some voice messages to get to. You guys excited to hear some voice messages from the folks?
Well, you know me.
Well, it depends on who they're from.
All right, well, why don't we start out with Arkham Josh. So let's hear from our boy Arkham Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, Arkham Josh here. Just calling with a really quick catch-up. As I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I was in the process of selling the house and buying a new one. And actually, we're moving this weekend. So last week and this week, we've been doing a lot of packing and shuffling things around. So I've been pretty busy. But I am caught up on the films. For Empty Gore, last week's film, I loved it. There was, like you guys said, a lot of great mood, great acting, interesting story. That's definitely going to be a treat and a recommend. If I had just one minor criticism, and to go into this without giving anything away, I think that there is a part in the middle where the villagers do something that they realize, was the wrong thing, but the elderly lady should have known way ahead of time, given the information that they had on the characters. She should have been able to pinpoint that somebody was not the right person immediately, not till after things didn't work out. So, alright, I'll move on from that though. This week's film, Uncle Peckerhead. I had not heard of this, and you know what, this was a super fun blast. Right up my alley. So, it's kind of 90s punk rock kind of thing. Lots of fun, some good gore, pretty funny. My only nitpick with this is the name of the band, Duh. Not that it's a bad name, but there is a notable 90s band called Duh that was a noise rock collaboration between members of Steel Pole Bathtub, Faith No More, and numerous other bands. They put out 2 records and are fairly well known in underground music circles. So, just a very quick Google search would have revealed that, and maybe they could have come up with a more original name for their 90s band. But hey. Other than that, I thought it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it, so that is also going to be a treat and a recommend. So the last 2 weeks, both treats, both recommends, both have a minor nitpick in each. Oh well. So, other than that, I hope you guys are doing good. Hopefully things calm down for me soon. Monday is the day that we're fully in the new house, so I don't know. I'll talk to you guys soon, all right? Have a good one. Bye.
All right, Josh. Thanks for calling in, my friend, and good luck with the move. That's the fucking worst.
Yeah.
I hate moving. So good luck with that, and congrats on the new place, man. I'm sure it'll hopefully be a nice place for you guys. So, all right. Well, there you go. Josh enjoyed both films last week and this week. He actually brought up a good point. I think I'd been mispronouncing because I didn't know about impetigo, which you brought to our attention, MC. So my guess is that the film is probably supposed to be impetigore instead of impetigore, which is what I said. So
yeah, well that's the first. I mean, anybody who doesn't know anything about impetigo would call it that. You know.
Yeah.
Hell, that's what I mean. I called it that at first, and then I realized, oh wait, it's named after impetigo. So.
Yep.
But I still call it impetigore because it just sounds better.
Yeah, it's more sort of phonetical that way.
Yeah.
But I also appreciate Josh bringing up the name of the band because I don't think we even mentioned it in the discussion. The name of the band was Duh. And also, yes, there was a sort of supergroup in the 90s called Duh, which obviously being a big fan of Faith No More myself, I did know. So, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jim Martin was the member. Or is it Jim Martin or is it Dean Menta? It was one of the guitarists. I'll look it up. Dean Menta.
Faith No More's Jim Martin?
Yeah. One of the guitarists from Faith No More was in Duh. And I couldn't remember which guitarist it was, but it was not Jim Martin. It was Dean Menta. So he was in the band Duh. So there you go. Let me see if I can find out who else was in the band.
Well, it's kind of whack if they took a different band's name. That's not.
Well, I mean, it's difficult, right? Like, I agree. Maybe they should have looked to find if there was a band named that, but it's difficult to find a band name that's never been used at this point.
I mean, there's only so many words in the vocabulary. So
how many are there, MZ?
More than I can count.
Duh had a little bit of a Green Day sound, right?
I mean, I don't know. It was kind of like a little power punk. I don't know. Aries, what would you call it?
I mean, it was. I don't know if it's power punk, but just kind of like an old school punk, like.
With some singing and harmonies.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like. It wasn't pop punk. It wasn't. It was just kind of punk. It was, club punk.
But you could see the difference between like Duh and the douchebag headliner band. Like they sounded like bands of that time.
Well, I mean, that was an exaggeration of. I don't even know what the fuck you'd call that, but that was, yeah, he was a douchebag. That was all that was.
But that's not a criticism. That's they sounded.
The music of that was fine. It was the vocals of that was the exaggeration of the douchebaggery, if you will.
Douchebag.
All right, well, let's continue on, and we are going to hear from Carlitos, our winner from last week.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio, it's Carlitos. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
I thought I'd call and suggest a couple of new nicknames for MZ there to show his mailing prowess. So I'll cut right to it. So I thought maybe what works? Let me see. How about Postmaster Monster Zero?
Oh,
or better yet,
Postmaster Zero.
Post Monster or Post Monster Zero. I don't know. I'm not really good with nicknames. You guys are the nickname masters, so you guys could maybe work that out. Just something to help balance out the the layer of lost swag or something like that. So. Not to bust Raven Shadow's balls anymore, but, we're talking from one coast to the other in 2 days over a Sunday, no less.
Yeah,
that's impressive. So I'm just saying, that's all. That's a new example. That's a standard. That's a bar that can't be leaped any higher. So everybody, my cat's right in front of my face. So everybody, give Monster Zero, not me, but Monster Zero a hand. All right. So give him a hand right in the shadow. Come on, man.
Give a hand.
So I thought, there's that. I did see Impetigo, Impetigore, and I liked it quite a bit. I do think the title does cheapen the film a bit, kind of sells it what it really ain't. It's more of this kind of not slow moving, but like a more atmospheric, very dread-filled type of horror film. Not really a gore fest, but that's just me though. And that's it. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. I just want to say that I'm safe. 2020 decided to rear its ugly head towards us Californians and decided to send a thunderstorm in the middle of a heat wave, and now we're on fire again.
Yeah.
So there's a fire fairly nearby, but it doesn't seem like I'm in any danger. But I can't say the same for other people. So you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, Carlitos, thanks, man. And when you get a chance to check out Morbid Tales, let us know what you think. And MZ, way to go, buddy. Yeah. Way to go.
Yeah, from the layer of sense swag.
Send that guy a fire extinguisher, pronto.
Yeah. Oh man, stay safe out there, Carl. Stay safe out there, Carlitos, because it's not like there's not enough out there right now that's fucking troubling in the world. Raven Chow, you had something to say?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's nothing more important than Carlito being safe and
right.
friends up.
Sure.
So yeah, it was a Bombaleo dick jokes, but no, be safe, bro.
Yeah, you were just gonna try to justify your not sending corny stuff.
Yeah.
Please.
Not corny stuff. I was gonna talk about some real things going on in the USPS, but no, I think what's more important is that Carlito's safe.
Well,
and he got his DVD.
And so everything going on in the world, with everything going on with the USPS, he gets it. MZ gets it to him in 2 fucking days, and one of those days was a Sunday.
Okay,
yep. Across the country.
Across the country, from one side to the other, 3,200 miles. It made the trip.
That's right. I didn't fuck around.
Listen, Kevin Costner's not involved. There's fucking a lot of things going on.
It would have taken a while if he was.
Listen. There's been things that were shipped from my work job to my house. It took a fucking week, and it's only from my place to my work job. Just saying.
You must have mailed it
to
your place.
Basically, what you're saying is MZ got fucking lucky.
You got fucking lucky. You got fucking lucky because it's fucking this thing they're removing now. What they're really removing is stuff that's used during the holidays, but the problem is, it most likely won't get brought back before the holidays are over.
Okay, we're not going to discuss politics.
We're not, at least not this.
We're not going.
That's a can of worms.
But I know things. Oh, then fine.
So wait, did that happen when you sent out your stuff to Corny?
Can't talk about it because fucking war.
Oh, apparently that's what you're trying to blame.
No,
apparently the mailbox you dropped it in was confiscated.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Wait,
that in the back of the
I see. So wait. The mailbox you put it in got taken out on a truck, and that truck drove all the way down to Corny, making stops along the way, and then it took like 8 months, right?
And then around came to New England,
and it ended up back in your basement where Marion it out.
I'm saying is that I think we can all agree that Carlito's the big one, and he got lucky.
He got lucky.
He got lucky that MZ was mailing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine. No, I'm not having an agenda, but I'm just saying that
you're not having a gender.
No, I'm not. I don't have a gender specific.
I'm cool with that, but I that's surprising coming from you, Raven Shadow.
I don't know what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I'm glad Carlito got his fucking, DVD, but it's all fucking different, dude.
You know how difficult Morbid Tales is to find in stores these days, Raven Shadow?
That's funny.
I give a fuck. I got it.
All right, Carlos. Thanks, man, and
Yeah,
stay safe
thank
out
you.
there. And also, Carlos, check out I know Carlitos is a patron supporter. Check out all the new stuff. We appreciate the support, my friend. And I'm going to read something in Facebook that he said I wouldn't read, but Tim Nice is hanging out. He says, Producer Wolfie, good job with the actual presentation of the show with people all recording from different places. Kudos to you. Best producer in the game as far as I'm concerned. I know you won't read this because you don't like to toot your own horn, but beep, beep. Truly, this is pretty awesome. Well, Tim, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I wouldn't say that myself, but since you said it, I can read it. So there you go. So I appreciate that, bud. Let's see. All right, let's now hear from our buddy, First Time Mike.
What's up, Trick or Treat family? This is First Time Mike. Hope everything is well with everybody. Wow, I'm glad Monster Zero is back. I was a little worried about him. I thought if he didn't show up after, that one episode he was gone, we would have to have a new segment every episode of Trick or Treat Radio called "Where in the World is that pervert Monster Zero?" Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. All right, there's a certain people that might get that reference. But on the other hand, here we go. I have some short reviews of just like 1 or 2 sentence reviews of different movies that have been played on the past couple years of Trick or Treat Radio that I've watched within the past month or two that I have some small reviews of.
Awesome.
Episode 398, Uncut Gems, Treat. Adam Sandler's asshole character taken to 110%. It's a tough, rough watch, but it's ultimately satisfying. A good movie.
Love that.
Episode 391, Dr. Sleep, Treat.
Yeah.
A fun adaptation that gives enough respect to the movie and the book of The Shining, but doesn't drown you in it. I thought it was, Ewan McGregor did a pretty good job in it. Episode 375, Bliss, Treat. Outhouse vampire film meets splatterpunk excess. A fun, sometimes a little bit weird for me, and a little too trippy at times, but ultimately an interesting watch. Episode 361, Nightmare Cinema, Trepid Treat. I kind of like Mickey Rourke as a horror host. Some good gore, but it tries too hard to be transgressive, and I've had more fun watching anthologies done in with a lot less budget than that movie seemed to have had.
I'm the projectionist.
Episode 385, Antrim, Treat.
Yeah.
Interesting premise. Very disturbing scenes, movies I've seen. I wanted to have more of the documentary of how transgressive the movie was. Less the whole movie, but maybe more kind of talking heads talk about all the disturbing stuff that seems that they're hinting that comes from people seeing that movie. I found that concept more interesting, but I found Antrim to be a treat, but not for everybody. So, episode 342, The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Treat. All I gotta say is, dude, it's Sam motherfucking Elliott. He's the fucking man. That's all you need to know. Mm-hmm. Episode 279, Mayhem, Treat. I've watched that several times because Shudder had it on their Shudder TV streaming, which I put on when I'm lazy and don't feel like looking for anything to watch. I'll just see what's streaming on Shudder, and it's a hyper violent, but fun corporate horror story. I love the two leads in this, and just it's cartoony, but with just an edge that makes you nod. And it's like, yeah, that kind of makes sense if you think about it. A fun movie. I really enjoyed Mayhem. So that's a couple small reviews. Hope everything is doing well with everybody. After some vacation time, and we got a new puppy in the family, so I'm trying to get back into the groove of things. And hopefully, this is, doing this voicemail is one of the things that are starting to get me grounded again. So this is first time Mike. Wishing you all the best. Have a good one. Bye.
Awesome first time Mike. You know what? We should do a fucking segment. The first time Mike's quick hit reviews or something. I love his reviews. Like straight to the point. Maybe we should do something like that on Discord. Like have like quick hit reviews or something like that.
Dude.
I love it. So he went through some. Let's see. I might have missed the last one, but I think he did Uncut Gems, Dr. Sleep, Bliss, Nightmare Cinema, Antrim, The Man Who Killed Hitler, and then the Bigfoot Mayhem. So kudos. What's that?
7 titles.
Yeah. So
I forgot all those movies. I want to watch all those episodes.
Now that you heard his reviews, you want to go back and watch them?
Like, what?
So
Treat.
Awesome first time, Mike. That was great, man. I'd love to hear more of those. If you wanna give them, we'll take them. But hope you're staying safe out there, my friend. And yeah, check out the. I know first time Mike's a supporter. Check out Patreon. See the new goodies you got. All right, we got 2 more voice messages. This one is from Evil Corny, Raven Shadow's new best friend once again. Right, Raven Shadow?
Same best friend.
Same best friend. Okay, let's hear from Corny.
Hey guys, this is Evil Corny. I just got finished watching Uncle Peckerhead. I thought it was just an okay film. So I'm going to give it a tepid treat. It was a couple scenes in, like the Peeping Tom scene and how it ended are 2 things that I really enjoyed about it. But still, overall, I just thought it was just okay. So tepid treat. Y'all have a good one. Evil Corny out. Oh yeah, guys. Me and Raven Shadow are friends again. We talked a little before the show, and he's listened to a couple of from the Canopy podcast episodes, and we've been talking about watching the Watchmen series that he's going through. But you all have a good one. Evil Corny out.
Me? See?
What up, MZ?
Yeah. It's about time he called me. He called everybody else except me for years. There you go, Corny. What up?
What up, Corny?
I'm surprised you didn't do what's up.
Oh God, that's so 2000s.
I know. That's why I'm surprised you didn't do it. So awesome, Corny. Well, hey, you didn't love it, but you watched it. Glad you checked it out, my friend, and glad you and Raven Shadow patch things up.
Wait until next week.
Yeah. Shit. So one more voice message, and I think this is in relation to a Patreon episode. Speaking of Patreon. I believe. So let's check out and hear from our boy EF Contentment.
This is EF sending you all a very, 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 very belated comment on Patreon episode number 7 from February, the summer school audio commentary.
Yes.
I just wanted to say I really enjoyed it, and hearing you all in the same room brought back memories of a long forgotten time before some dude fucked the bat, or whatever it was that got us into this mess. Anyway, there seemed to be confusion from MZ and Raven Shadow regarding Mark Harmon's character in the film Shoop going to a male strip club on ladies' night. They found it difficult to believe that Shoop would go there to pick up on chicks when he was already trying to hook up with Kirstie Alley's character, Robin. See, Shoop is a very pragmatic and realistic person who recognizes that while his 21-year-old girlfriend is currently in Hawaii, she's most likely getting treated not unlike a roast pig at a luau, so it's safe to say he's now as good as single. But since Robin keeps turning him down, and he's also dealing with the advances of a 16-year-old student, which he clearly cannot and should not reciprocate, well, our boy Shoop probably has a lot of frustration going on downstairs. He needs some release, and he'll be goddamned if he's going to use the same hand he dips into peanut butter and jelly to share with his dog. No, that's not an option. So it's off to the strip bar, where there are plenty of hot and bothered women who aren't going home with any of the onstage beefcake. And they'll surely settle for any dude who has the balls to actually go to a strip club on ladies' night to pick up on women. And if you don't think any of those ladies would go home with him, look at it this way. Have you ever watched a cooking show on the Food Network? And then, afterwards you're hungry and you look for something to eat in the kitchen and all you can find is like a Hot Pocket or an Uncrustable. And somehow watching that cooking show before made what you're eating now much better than it really is.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what I'm talking about. My apologies for stealing your time. Take care and be well, gentlemen.
That was fucking awesome. Raven Shadow knows exactly what you're talking about.
That's spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on.
I love EF Contentment so much because I have leftover 2-year anniversary dinner at the house, so which is like tempuras and tapas over the fuck.
Tempuras and tapas.
I don't know what that was. I don't know. It was expensive, but I might put a meatball and cheese hot pocket on. So I love EF. Dude, call me. I'm around Sunday around 6:00.
Well, hey, if EF is a Patreon supporter, so maybe if he's on Discord, maybe we'll hop in and you guys can go to the Blackout Tapes room.
Yeah, dude, message me for a while. Let's just. I get anxiety, but I want to talk to you. Let's hang.
That was fucking great. That was a great voice message, EF. And I'm glad you dug it, man, because that one was a lot of fun to do, because I hadn't seen that since, I don't know, like it's been, I think I mentioned like 15, 20 years at the time we did it.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Now, was that the last time we were together?
That's a good question. Was it that or Weird Science?
I think so. Together.
It was either that or Weird Science. I think it was summer school, though. I think you might be right.
Yeah, because I was there for Weird Science.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might be.
Yeah. We did, 2 Weird Science and summer school. Yeah.
So, Raven Shadow, the question is Uncrustables or Hot Pockets tonight?
Why not both?
Touche. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. So, EF, thanks, man. Thanks, everybody, for leaving voice messages. That was fun. It's always great to hear from you guys. And let us know what you guys think of the Patreon changes. I know a lot of the folks who called in are Patreon supporters. Let us know if we can make it even better. Let us know. And especially Discord. We really want to take advantage of that. Especially in this day and age with with Facebook not necessarily having everybody's best interest in mind when it comes to privacy, there may be a time when we need to find a different platform. So as of right now, our community, we would have no community if Facebook went away or if people started leaving, So nice to have a place where people can continue to keep in touch and chat, Raven Chat, were you going to say something?
No, man, but you do a really good job, Johnny.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Why are you kissing his ass?
Yeah.
What do you want, man?
Saying that, I was moved by what he said. I was like, what if Facebook went away?
All right. Well,
I was
all right. We
still
gonna
epicenter. Words. No, don't fucking say it. I'm telling you.
All right, we're gonna end the show.
Thank you, John.
We're gonna end the show. So, let's go around the room and say goodbye, starting with MZ.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
Aries.
Sayonara.
Raven Shadow.
All right, fucking go to work with your mask on.
Oh, I meant to mention this earlier. Maybe I'll wait. But I watched the first episode of Lovecraft Country, and it was fucking awesome. So I'm curious to see what everyone else thinks of that. If you guys haven't seen it, you should try to check it out. Raven Shot, you're watching Watchmen. I haven't watched that yet. You watching The Watchmen?
Dude, I do. I'm like in the home stretch, bro. I got fucking like 3 more.
I haven't seen it yet, so we'll talk about it another time. But all right, well, we appreciate everyone bearing with us. I know I talked a lot about Patreon, but I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of those changes, and hopefully you guys dig it. And we appreciate. I know Corny upped his pledge right away. So we appreciate that. If anyone else is interested in doing that, please just visit patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And if you're not already a supporter, please consider it. For $2, you get all the audio now, and you get access to the Discord. So that is going to do it. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us, everyone who left voice messages, everyone who hung out for the live chat. Oh, there's the music. All right. That's it. Thanks, everyone. See ya.